All right, we're about to go live.
Yep. We're live now.
Woo, we're live.
Yay.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Anime America Podcast Live Episode 6. Yes.
Number
And
6.
Today we have a guest, Shalane.
Mikey.
Hello.
I'm Brad, a.k.a. Balding Ewok, and the queen of anime in America. Robin, very hard.
We
Caught it.
already have one laughing emoji from Facebook. Hello.
So, Shalane, I don't have the pleasure of knowing anything about you. Would you mind telling me and the audience who you are and how you know Robin?
Yeah, sure. So my name's Michael, and I'm a sound designer. I worked on Metarunner Season 1 and 2, and I met Robin through that.
Oh,
So I make all the sound effects, and in Season 2 I mixed the series and also mastered it, as well as I worked with my partner Sarah, who is a Foley artist. And
okay.
So we work together, and we've known Robin for about a year now.
That's pretty cool. You have a little studio that you do the Foley in?
Yeah, we got my studio, and we got a bunch of props and stuff that we use to record all the characters. Like Robin's character is literally a backpack because he's such a small character.
Right.
So we got a bunch of different stuff for different characters. We got like leather jackets for Lux and shorts for Tari and all sorts of stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
But my job is more primarily the like synthesized part of it. So like I do, explosions and whooshes and all that stuff.
Okay.
And interface sounds. The program I use Pro Tools, and I use a bunch of different plugins. I use Serum as my sampler, which is basically a plugin where you could put in a sound effect and essentially turn it into an instrument. And you can use it as like say you have like a whoosh or something, and then you can basically play it from one key to another key, and it becomes really high pitched and really fast. So you can use that as like a whoosh. What else do I use? I have a bunch of native instrument plugins that I use for suspense and whooshes and impacts, and I use FabFilter plugins for my equalizers, and Waves plugins for my compressors on dialogue and things like that.
Yeah.
I also use a plugin called Ultiverb, which is like a room emulator. So like I can take a sound effect and put it in a room, any sort of room. I could put it in like a church or like a bedroom or a bathroom, whatever I need it to sound like.
Yeah. I use when I edit in Premiere, I use they have a lot of reverb effects that I go into, and you can make it sound like it's in a cave or in the other room.
Yep, exactly.
That's pretty cool. I used to do Pro Tools. I love Pro Tools.
Yeah, Pro Tools is great. It does have some issues, but it is the industry standard.
I love it. I just couldn't. You got to keep upgrading. It's so hard to use. You can't just download the software. You've got to jump through all these hoops. And I used to have it on here, but it's just so hard to keep it working that you just need to.
It's very finicky.
Yeah.
But once it's working, it's quite reliable.
By the way, Robin, we have a super chat from James Douglas. It says, "Hi, Robin. Just saw your Trigun review, and I must disagree with your hot take on Vash. He is the greatest character in fiction. Prove me wrong."
I'm sure there's plenty of other characters that are just as good or better. It's Sarah.
Oh, that's Sarah. She's the Foley artist of Metarunner and dialogue editor.
Yay. Where can one enjoy Metal Runner? Like the first season, episodic episodes of the first season are on SMG4's channel. The movie cut version, which is pretty much season 1 compressed into a movie time, is on the Glitch channel, Glitch Productions.
Oh, is it Glitch Productions if I went to search for it?
Because I think like if you just type in Glitch, it's going to come up with a whole bunch of stuff. But if you just type in Glitch Productions, it should. Let me check.
I believe the channel is actually just called Glitch, though, right?
I think so, yeah. If you just type in Glitch Productions, it'll show you the channel Glitch.
Yeah, that works. Yeah.
But like if you just type in Glitch, it's just probably going to show you a whole bunch of other stuff.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, there's a different channel called Glitch with like lowercase.
Yep. Okay.
Alicia Connell wants to know if you guys know when there will be a season 3 of Meta Runner.
No clue.
In the works. We have to finalize the scripts and get to work on it.
My job
Glitch has
late. Sorry, my job usually just comes late. Like I'm like later in production. So like there's all the animation and then it's my job.
Yippers. We just have to just finalize the scripts, get the actors to record them. That's me. I love how like I'm in the middle of a conversation, my brain's just like, stop, hammer time. But Glitch is working on a whole bunch of other productions, so definitely be looking forward to that. And a lot more SMG4 episodes.
All right, so what were we doing before we got interrupted?
We were going to introduce Mikey as the one of the sound editors of SMG4 or for Meta Runner.
Yeah.
Yep.
And to just ask about the process and maybe talk about his favorite sound effects and little behind the scenes over what he and Sarah do to make the sound effects work.
Oh, my favorite sound effect.
The Wilhelm scream?
I mean, my favorite sound
anything
effect
that you had to do for Meta Runner, yeah.
I really enjoyed the mechanical parts of the arms. So like whenever like the Meta Runner arms would move, they would have to sound all sci-fi and mechanical. So I used all sorts of like camera servos and all sorts of gears and things that would spin, and then I would run them through software and edit them, make them sound all sci-fi.
So you record them yourself with your own camera, and then you run them through filters and stuff to make it sound cooler?
Sometimes I'll record my own stuff. Sometimes I'll just go to my sound library, which I've been accumulating over like 10 years now.
Right.
But some things I'll record, like, for example, in the first episode of season 2, when Theo's face smacks against the glass and then he kind of falls down slowly, I like soaped up my hands and rubbed my hands against the shower window so that it sounded all squeaky. And so, yeah, that's what I used for one of Theo's sound effects. And I didn't have to do much sound editing for that. I would just have to like noise remove it, or he was in like a cell, so I kind of added like a padded room reverb to it.
That's cool. Robin, I want to ask you, do you know who this Braden Bird is? He says,
"Greetings, everyone. I am here to say hello. This is Anime God King, aka Braden Bird, here calling at your live from your channel, Anime America. Good to see you again."
I couldn't make any sense out of that.
Calling at your life. This is one of those. Brad King said, "This is your life."
And maybe it's the AI trying to promote stuff.
But hey, Braden, I was going to show, if you wanted to, I shared the screen in case you wanted to see this. The part where Marco comes into Meta Runner and shows off his metal arms.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's one of them. Or Master's arm. Like when he gets a new arm and, yeah, it becomes all...
Yeah, we can show that part, too. It's, there we go. So I'm gonna.
Cool.
There you go. Here's like one of the effects that Mikey was proud to work on.
Oh, yeah.
You know the rules, Soph. No excuses and no special treatment.
Jason.
For friends or superstar celebrities.
This is episode 3, season 2 of Meta Runner.
Fear, move along. What's wrong, Golden Boy? Can't win a game without your gift from Daddy Lux.
Fine. I bet I could beat you with one hand tied behind my back.
So,
Here comes the
who's your
magic.
partner, man? Oh, I don't need a partner.
Yeah, so that's one of them.
Game's gonna start soon, boys.
There you go.
That is
The-
cute.
The fingers moving around just like slightly are actually just cutlery that I've run through a tremolator and phaser.
Yeah.
So you can hear them moving very gently. That's just cutlery, like moving.
That's cool.
Yeah, stuff like that.
I had to do some crazy stuff with my my roommate / filmmaking partner. We make films, and we had a short film that we're almost done with, and where somebody's running around outside and they get attacked and stuff, and we couldn't use the audio from that. You can't just record what's happened. There's too much going on. So we had to go. We had to go outside on our front yard and like scrape against different kinds of leaves because different leaves sound different. And then we had to. So we're out there running around like back and forth, hitting our hands on trees, and I'm waving a branch against another tree.
That's fun.
We look ridiculous. And then stomping around, I'm holding the recorder and we're recording what it sounds like in grass and what it sounds like in dirt, and then crunching on sticks and leaves. And it's like, okay. But all that work just for like a few seconds that you put in to just make it a little bit more believable. And no one ever really notices your work, it's
I mean,
underappreciated.
I think you've probably done a good job if no one notices your job, though.
Yeah.
So, there might be a really odd sound effect, and then that's when people notice and like, oh, that was a bit weird. But yeah, like for example, there's like a Pokemon reference in Metarona, and I think that one sound effect took me like an hour and a half to do, and it literally lasts about 5 seconds. But yeah, that's just how it is.
I'm also going to show the sound effects work that Mikey did for one of our videos.
Oh, sure.
Top 10 scariest husbandos and waifus. I was just going to do just the scene itself without the sound effects, time to the music, but I was just like, could you add something? He's like, yeah, sure. So this was all Mikey right here.
I had a lot of fun with this.
A little squeak at the end.
That's just like a dog chew toy, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's fun. Lots of crushing vegetables. Yeah, like Sarah said, it takes about 3 weeks for us to do one episode.
Really?
So you guys pretty much had no sleep.
Wow.
Yeah, sometimes they can be pretty rough. We might have to wait for things to be animated and stuff as well. So you can't really dialogue sync when they don't have lips.
Yeah.
So This is an interesting question from Alicia Connell. Just wanted to know, is Meta Runner considered an anime or just a YouTube cartoon? I like to consider it as Australian anime. It's exclusively on YouTube for now. I'm not sure if they're having plans on releasing it on Netflix or Crunchyroll. I'm not sure. But for now, it's free to watch on YouTube. You can watch all the episodes on SMG4 and Glitch's channel. But I like to think of it as Australian anime. And even the boys consider it as anime. Even Tommy is just like, can it be both? ¿Por qué no las dos? It's a YouTube anime show. Woo!
Australian anime is a good way to put it.
Yeah. Like with
Yeah.
Avatar being an American anime, Ruby is an American anime, Meta Runner is an Australian anime.
There you
And what's his name? Sabretooth? What's his name? The guy who does a lot of cartoon reviews on his channel, besides Phantom Strider. It's like Saber something. He was asking on Twitter, hey, for 2021, is there anything you want me to look at to consider in a review? And I took a poster of Meta Runner Season 2, like, my good sir, here you go. Here, there you go.
Give this a try.
There you go. Give this a shot. Australian anime, here you go. Saber Spark, that's him. So if you guys want Saber Spark to review Meta Runner, just go to his Twitter, be all like, Meta Runner, Meta Runner, Meta Runner, make it rain, Meta Runner, Meta Runner. All right. Has Brad even seen all of Meta Runner?
No.
Then we can't spoil it.
No.
Well, I don't care. I mean, I care a lot. No, I mean, I don't care about. I don't care about spoiling stuff. I have a short attention span, so it doesn't matter.
It just seems like if we spoil season 2 for you, it's going to rob you of the experience, because just seeing people react to it on YouTube, once it gets to a certain point and you see the reaction, it's just priceless.
The only thing that will get me is if you die in the show, Robin, which you almost did, but then you're a digital character, so then it's like. But also, even if that version of you died, they could just get another version of you, right? Would they do that? Would they replace?
I want there to be a scene where like Tari goes into like different Ultra Jump manias and just summons an army of Theos.
Yeah.
That'd be so cute.
Crackerjack, 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 Crackerjack,
Crackerjack! They just rain Theos.
It'd be fun to edit.
Yeah, you're just gonna be like, oh boy.
Yeah, I've
Sarah,
done
let's get to work.
before. And
with the title of the last episode called Fatal Error, people were assuming that at least one character was going to die. So on Reddit, they held a poll over which character they believed was going to die. And I think Lux was at the very bottom, followed by, I think, Theo and Tari. Then there was like Sofia and Lamar. Belle was in there somewhere in the middle. The top two, like in second place, it was Evelyn, who's the villain, one of the villains of season 2. And at number 1, it was my husband's character, Masa. We're just like, aw, poor Brendan. The votes are in, Masa, you have to die. But are those voting results true? You're going to have to watch all of Meta Runner.
have to find out.
I think this is a question for Mikey. How much time does it take to record all of the sound for an episode?
So most of the recording is Sarah's job. So she'll do like a lot of the Foley and stuff, which can take quite a few days, and then a lot of editing. For me, like I said, I've been recording stuff for over 10 years now, so I have like a bunch of library sound effects that I can go back on and use. If there's something else that I don't have, I'll just go out and record it right then and there.
When we were watching the final episode together with Jason and Elsie, Anthony, and Haley, and Sarah, you guys pulled out the different articles of clothing that you use to put in the Foley for Tari and I think Lamar.
Yep. Yeah, so we got like all sorts of different clothing that Sarah will go through and choose, see what's appropriate. We try to find one that fits their like size. So we had a really like kind of thick t-shirt from Marco that was working kind of well. But I was like, well, he has a metal backpack. Like he has metal on his back. We're going to need something else to really sell that he's a heavy dude. So I got a toolbox and just shook it around in front of some stereo mics. And use that. So every time he walks and takes footsteps, you can hear the toolbox rattle around. Sorry if you can hear my dog, by the way.
Hi, puppy.
But yeah. So yeah, we use toolbox for Marco, and then Sarah chooses the clothing.
So
I'm
do
showing
you
all of
guys-
Sarah's comments.
If it even is clothing, like for example, Theo is a backpack. So
I'm a backpack. Hey! So,
Okay, you want
from
me?
Patrick Amico, kiss, marry, kill. Tari, Belle, Evelyn. Off the bat, definitely kill Evelyn.
that's a given.
That's a given. Hands down. No, Evelyn, bye. Get out. I would probably marry Tari because she's a sweetheart, so I would kiss Belle. Even though I think being married to Belle would be a lot more entertaining, so maybe I'll switch them. You just you don't do your dishes and you just say, "Oi! Why is there so many dishes?"
I think because of that, I'm going to have to marry Tari.
She just comes in. Oh, hey, Michael. So the dishes.
Yep.
Okay, that's okay. We can work on them together. And Belle will be all like, "Oi!"
I think Sarah may join us. Should I send her a link or something, or
Yeah.
the same one you sent me, Robin?
Yep.
Cool.
That'll work.
Marry Belle for stable income and give Tari an awkward kiss on the cheek. Aw. Kill Evelyn.
There you go.
Marry Belle. Kiss Tari. That was the funny thing when I think we were doing the Meta Runner memes video with myself, Lux, Belle, and Tari. And I think we had to introduce ourselves like, hey, my name is this, I voice this character, and then we say a signature catchphrase. I think me and Lux were the only ones that had a catchphrase. Mine was Crackerjack. Lux was, I want her. So Celeste and Jess had to come up with theirs. And Jess was like, I don't know if Bella has one. What does she usually say? And I just went, oi. She just falls out of her chair. She's like, God dang it.
That's taken off. I saw someone made like an oi,
Oi.
like Christmas song on Reddit today, which was great.
Another question for Mikey. Ever have trouble finding a sound for an action or item? Anything ever drive you nuts trying to find the right sound? This is a super chat question from Robert Kofer.
Yeah, sometimes it can be a bit difficult. I usually have an idea or a sound in my head, and then I'll go searching for it and know how to edit it. I find more challenge in things that need to be like long and repetitive. So I remember designing Theo's coconut throw took a while because I knew this would be a reoccurring sound effect, and I didn't want it to be annoying, and I'd like it to be iconic. So I'd take a whoosh sound effect, and I think Sarah recorded like a bottle cap, like just kind of rattling on top of a bottle, which I've used in combination with that, and then I ran it through a sampler so that it can loop.
Cool. What software do you use for sampling?
I use Serum.
Serum?
Serum. It's a great plugin. It's got synths built into it, or like oscillators that you can work with.
Oh, okay.
And then you can put whatever sound effect you want in there and make it sound really crazy.
And if anyone feels bad that like we're just dunking on Evelyn's character, try not to, because Elsie, the voice of Evelyn, she loves it. Like I remember her saying, "They hate my character." Yes, I'm doing a good job.
Exactly.
Elsie just did such a phenomenal job voicing this character. Like, let's go to episode 1 and show the spoiled brat that is Evelyn. Evelyn is the kind of character who is spoiled all of her life, and she even says in one of her speeches that like she didn't get enough attention from her parents, and she just got the luxury treatment and hates Tari because she was supposed to be the next up and rising star of Task Corp, but Tari comes along and kind of steals the limelight, and that's why she hates Tari.
Yep. So
here's Evelyn's debut. As well, I was supposed to say Evelyn's debut is Elsie, but it's the other way around. My brain today. Here she is, Evelyn. And her background
For
theme
the
music is
last time,
perfect.
Evelyn, knock before you burst into my room.
Well, does Lux hate me?
Seeing as how he's about to bring you into the main lineup, I would doubt it.
Then why doesn't he give me exhibition matches like he does for that blue-haired science experiment? Well, be honest. Would you rather play with me or her?
You? I guess.
Well, maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe she'll abandon the team like Lucinia.
Hey! Lucinia didn't abandon us. She's just... gone.
She just skips out of there. Oh, what a brat. we love her.
says Evelyn's theme kind of slaps. I transcribed it into sheet music.
Yeah, I saw it on
Dude.
Reddit. Actually, it was a great conversion there.
Sarah!
Hello.
Hey,
Please ignore my bed in the background.
I bet in the background.
Hey guys. How's it
These
going?
are the two masterminds of the Meta Runner sound effects team.
Yeah.
so what do you guys take different parts? Do you do the same thing, or how? What all do you do, Sarah?
Yeah, so I mostly do the Foley and the dialogue editing. So my process would be, we get the new episode. We have about 3 weeks to get it done. Then I have basically a file that has it's just a big mess of everybody's dialogue. So I have to then clean it up, put everyone on their own tracks, line it all up. And then I have to clean it, sync it perfectly, make sure it's all exactly where it needs to be, which all of that process takes about 1 week to do just the dialogue.
Wow.
Sometimes there'll be issues in the dialogue, so I'll have to there'll be a pop or there'll be just a sound in the background, and I'll have to find a way to get rid of it. Or sometimes I'll ask someone at Glitch, hey guys, look, this is just not workable. Is there another take, or is there something else we can do? Things like that. Just normal sound things. And then once that's done, we begin recording the Foley. So I actually brought this. So this is actually this is Thea's coconut. So this is how I make so these sorts of sounds. I don't know if you guys can hear it.
I can hear it. That's cool.
But that's basically Thea's coconut right there. So I send that to Mike, and then he kind of puts it in wherever. Sometimes I line it up myself, but he started to just kind of reuse it because we were lazy. Yeah, he's got a lot of it.
I was wondering what software or plugin do you use to clean up the audio?
We use
Isotope plugins.
Isotope plugins mostly, yeah, for cleaning. I use we both use Pro Tools for everything. I don't know if you know what Pro Tools is. It's just a DAW. Yeah. So Pro Tools is the main DAW that we use. And we basically...
when you say DAW, you mean digital audio...
Workstation.
Workstation, yeah.
Yep, sorry. Yep.
Okay.
Sometimes in the audio world, you forget that people don't know what things mean. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, when we're recording the Foley, it's a sort of a lot of, sometimes we'll be we actually need a lot of, Meta Runner stuff in here. So I have this, bag of these metal objects that I will just, move in front of the microphone. And try and just get the sounds that I want, the clicks and things like that every time. Tari really likes to do this action where she just kind of opens her fist and then closes it again. She does that a lot. So I try and get a sound that sort of makes you feel like she's really doing that. And sometimes it just takes a really long time to sort of get that sound because those metal objects might click in a way you don't really want them to. And yeah, it's just all about you know once you get it, you know that you got it. It's just one of those things. Yeah. It would be cool if Metarunner was on Netflix. That'd be awesome.
Thanks, Joshua.
We did have a $20 super chat.
Hi, Jerome.
I just didn't want to ignore this one because they donated $20. If you guys could do a Mount Rushmore of anime, what would it be?
Well, first of all, what do you think it means by Mount Rushmore?
4 characters that you would put on a mountain like Mount Rushmore.
Oh. Well, Naruto already did that, so we can't use them.
Yeah. I would say Goku, Sailor Moon, Astro Boy, and Lupin the Third.
Mine would be so different to that. Mine would be like such typical characters. Like definitely Luffy would be there.
Okay, maybe take out Lupin and put in Luffy, yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm a One Piece fan. Please don't hate me.
You and Jeff get along just fine.
Oh,
There's
God.
a lot of fans for it.
Mhm.
I'd put all the Cowboy Bebop characters up.
Done.
And the dog. I love the little fat dog.
Fine.
All the main kids from A Promised Neverland, like just lined up.
Oh wow!
Oof.
All their sad faces.
Oh.
I tried to show that anime to my friend, and he did not appreciate the first episode. And I was like, "Oh, is it too intense for you? I'm sorry." I just really loved it. Like I remember my mate showed it to me, and I just could not stop watching it. Like I just had to know what happened, so I watched the whole thing that night, and I slept at about 7 a.m. because I couldn't go to bed without knowing what happened to those kids. Oh.
All right, another $5 from Robert Kofer. Robert, you are spoiling us. In live action, they use a slapper thing to sync up the audio. How do they accomplish this in animation?
Me, hi, nice to meet you. I'm the sync person.
You're the slapper.
I'm the slapper.
I think they're talking about a slate, like a clapping
Yeah,
board.
they're talking about.
Oh,
Yeah, so you can imagine the reason that they have that in live action stuff, or just movies and any sort of like where you're recording the picture at the same time that the actor is performing. That is not at all what happens in animation, because in animation, obviously, there is no visual. That has to be created afterwards. So what usually happens is they get people like Robin or the voice actors to perform. I'm sure Robin can tell you more about that, to perform and get all the lines right. And then they select the lines they want. They put them all in the order of the episode. And then that's when the animators animate to the lines. But what happens afterwards is some things change, or stuff isn't like exactly in sync with the lips. So what I do is that I take all of that, what they've done, and I line it up so it's perfectly in sync. So when their lips are moving, that will be not noticeable as like, oh, that was a bit weird. You know what I mean? So I just make sure that it's 100% in sync. Sometimes it's like super out because they would have like moved an entire scene over. So I have to completely do that from scratch. Sometimes it's like perfectly in, so I don't have to do too much, but it really is line by line, and it takes a lot of time and effort to sync that up. Yeah.
Yep. Can take a bit.
Do you ever find yourself where you have to, in audio, re-edit the timing and the way they said something, like a cutout and sort of like a surgeon, like move words around?
Yeah.
And then
actually, I
take a word from another thing they said and put it over here where it doesn't even go.
Yeah, we call it audio magic. Sometimes like there'll be a character that says a word, and then the P sound or the S sound at the end of the word won't actually come out. So I'll try and find one in a different word sometimes.
Yeah.
From a
You
different
got
part
to
of
take
the
the S that they did in another word and put it at the end.
Sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes it does. And then if I, try that, sometimes I'll try for about an hour and then it just won't work. Then I'll be like, okay, here's when I contact Glitch and say, guys, this is not going to work. Blah, blah, blah. Do we have another take? Sometimes they do. Sometimes they don't. But most of the time they do.
I can fix it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we also have like software that can change how a line sounds. So like we might get a line that should sound like a question but doesn't end like one. And so we'll get software that, like I use Isotope Contour, which basically changes the inflection of a voice. And so
it's magic. It's really magic. Yeah. So, for example, a character might be saying, "What do you want?" But instead we're like, "What do you want?" So you can like change that inflection, and suddenly it makes more sense as a question. You know what I mean?
You guys are making me miss Pro Tools. I can't do
Yeah.
that.
We work with Pro Tools all day, so we definitely don't miss it.
Martha missed. Said Robin is Evelyn basically Misa from Death Note.
I don't see it.
I don't see it. No,
I don't see it.
Misa at first was pretty smart, and then when she got what she wanted, she just pretty much turned off her brain and was all like, "Laito-kun is my senpai. Misa wants Laito-kun and whatnot." Evelyn's just a spoiled brat.
She's selfish. She's all about herself.
It's all about herself. It's all about her debut and her exhibition debut, and she was very self-centered. Like, Tari's trying to play it safe in the game of Heroes someday, like Hidden Hero. Yeah. And Evelyn just kept complaining over every little thing that Tari was doing. It's like, I will take the firecrackers. They match my stunning personality.
Yep.
And say, we're taking too long. It's so boring here. We're ruining this match for everyone. Just blaming Tari for everything, even though she's the one that's like running in and being the center of attention. Like when they were making their debut, she just pushes Tari aside to run up ahead. When Lux hands Tari the microphone first, like, ladies, there's something you want to say, and hands Tari the mic. But then Evelyn snatches it, and even Lux is giving her this look of, really?
Exactly.
Was it hard keeping Meta Runner spoilers from your friends? Yes!
Dang, you hit the nail on the head. Look, thankfully we had Robin, and we could be like, Robin, blah, 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 and like talk about it. But like, other than that, we couldn't say anything.
We were just like talking to each other
about it. It was so hard.
Brad hasn't seen season 2 yet, so we got to kind of keep it. Can't really spoil too much for him.
Fine. I'll watch it.
We don't watch it, Brad. The ending is so good.
Right now.
I watched episode 1 and then did other things.
Excuses.
I think if you enjoyed season 1, you'll definitely enjoy season 2. Overall, it's a better product.
Mm-hmm. Season 2 is so much better, especially visual wise, sound effects wise, everything wise. It's so good. Like season 1's good, but 2 is better.
Season 2 got an upgrade, basically.
Can I ask you real quick? Who's the character in your icon there?
That's my gnome mage from World of Warcraft, and I named her Shalane, and that's how I got that.
In case you didn't believe he was a true nerd.
There you go.
What's your real name? Or do
Michael.
you not? You don't have to.
No, that's fine. Michael. My friends call me Mikey, so that's fine too.
Cool.
Masa!
Hello.
Sorry, go Mike.
There he is.
I was going to say that Brendan actually helped me with some sound effects.
He's the crab dude.
Looks like you could use a ride.
Oh my god, you actually sound so much like him. What?
We might have to end the show early.
No spoilers for Brad.
Someone gives a ride. That's all you know.
But you, my dear. I'm not going to finish this. But you, my dear. That's probably my favorite line.
That ending. Brad needs to see that ending.
Late for dinner.
Late for dinner.
Can anybody answer this question? I've seen it like a couple times. Ramdog Zero, how come the Horizon Stadium audience couldn't see what's happening in Hidden Heroes? I don't know what any of that means.
There were screens.
Yeah. There were screens all over the arena.
Yeah, there were screens all over the arena, and I think there was like a chart showing who was getting eliminated where. Like the whole front area of that stadium where the tournament was. It showed what each of the players were doing. I think it was mostly centered on Tari and Evelyn.
Yeah. Everyone had their own cell that they played in, and then the screens were on the walls.
Okay, Epic Fire 008. Go ahead.
No, you read it, Brad. You read it.
Okay. But to all who worked on Meta Run of this year, how hard was it getting it out. Getting MetaRunner out in 2020. Thanks to the bad C word? I don't know what do they mean?
The pandemic thingy.
Rona.
That thing.
Rona.
Yeah, that thing we can't say.
Yeah.
Can we say the R word, or is that like Rona? Is that okay?
We'll
I don't
call
know.
it Rona.
Rona. Yeah.
I don't know if it really affected us.
Yeah, I mean, you guys all have great sounding mics.
Anyway.
I mean, Sarah and Michael obviously slayed it. Like, they were awesome, like rocking it at home. Like, I mean, oh geez, I have to stay home and do more work on MetaRunner. What will I do?
It didn't affect us too much in that way, yeah, because we work from home anyway. We were in Victoria, so we were in lockdown, so we really didn't get to go anywhere, which that was a bit
sort
crazy.
of works in your favor, keeps you accountable, doesn't it? Like, you're locked in.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, pretty much.
What about you, Robin?
I think like for the animators, I think some of them had to work from home for some time, but then I think they had to tell the government how many people were working for them and show how spaced out they are, to the point where it's like, okay, fine, as long as you wear a mask and sanitize your stations, you should be fine. As for the actors, we basically had to record our lines from home. My recording was fine. Like, I could record from here and I would sound perfect. But Brendan's voice is just so booming and so strong that when he would do his lines, even a basic Masa line, it would just bounce everywhere. We don't have sound padding in this room. So what we had to do was turn our downstairs basement closet into a recording studio.
The Harry Potter closet, yeah.
We kicked Harry Potter out.
That's probably the only way it affected us, was that the actors had to change their locations. And so they actually sounded different in the previous episode. So like from episode 5 onwards, they were in different places. And so we had the challenge that we had to make them sound the same.
Yeah, we had to do a lot of work to sort of just make them sound like they're all in the same space.
Yep. Or at least from the previous location, they had to sound like that. So, like,
out of curiosity, after that sort of change, was it?
Yep.
Do you reckon it sounded better or worse? Like after 5 onward?
As long as we were able to make it sound sort of as it was before, or just that it fit within the space, it didn't really matter. It wasn't really a better or worse sort of situation. It was just more we needed it to sound a certain way.
That's more me. I'm curious because I had to pimp out a whole room. You had no idea. In the middle of lockdown, I had to find like soundproof foam. I had to buy a special shelf that would fit in there. I had to try and get a laptop. I ended up buying a new mic and a new like interface and like mic guards and I was like, oh my god, like if we have to record from home, like if I get sick and die, at least let my last lines for MetaRunner be good, please. I just wanted to sound good for the audience.
You sounded perfect.
That's totally a thought in my head when we were going.
Whatever you did worked very well. Don't worry.
I think
that, guys, I did good.
I have
10 out of 10.
A dialogue match. I use a dialogue match plugin, which basically takes 2 different dialogue tracks and compares them on a frequency chart, and then I can look at them and be like, okay, this one is different at 400 hertz, and then I can kind of match them that way. Awesome. So I did that, but before I do that, I remove the room that they're in. So if it sounds like it's in a kitchen, then I'll make it sound like it's in a studio.
Yeah. Could you have done anything with this horrible room I'm in with the echo? You can even hear me through Robin's mic.
That's why I'm muting a lot.
I can fix it, yes. But like ideally, it's just best to record in a dead room. That way, I don't have to do that. Because when you do remove the room, you take out some of the frequencies that could be useful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think one of the best is probably Elsie. Like, I never have to noise remove her dialogue because she must record in like a professional studio or something. I'm not sure what she does.
She's in a
basically
vacuum.
a vacuum. Yeah, she like I don't need to do anything pretty much to her in terms of
How was David's? Because I heard he struggled a bit. Like he tried out for one of the roles in an upcoming project and he couldn't get it because his area was so noisy. Like there were so many cicadas buzzing in the background that he just couldn't figure out how to do it. And then too little too late, we were like, dude, come to our house. And he's like, no, I should have.
Yeah, honestly, it wasn't a huge deal. Like, as long as I can remove it, it's not a huge deal. So the way that it works is essentially you use a plugin to sort of assess the background noise. But what I do is this is why it's good to keep some like empty just recording of the background, because I take that, I try and find like wherever there's an empty section without a breath, because the breath usually ruins it. And usually a lot of the time it is the before the line. So I try to like find one that isn't that. It's so fun. I have so many of you guys. It's just like
you should just cut it together so it's like
yeah. Oh my god. Sometimes I like take out certain words that you guys say and just make like a remix out of it, and it's just so funny. But I don't show that to anyone. Don't worry.
Can you please do that to me and show it with everyone?
I remember there was a line that Lamar said.
Ducks.
There was a line that Lamar said that sounded like a really bad word, which I'm not going to say right now. And I just basically I made it into a remix. I think I showed you, Brendan. It was amazing.
I have a question.
I don't think you remember.
Oh, please.
But yeah, so I analyzed that that sort of noisy section, and then I'm able to then remove that noise through the plugin, which I'm not going to explain how it technically works because people will get bored. And then it's fine as long as it's not like super intense actual sounds that are intermittent throughout the takes. That's the issue usually. So if like a truck drives by, suddenly that's an issue. But if it's like really low frequency stuff, you can literally just cut that low frequency out and it should just still work. So it's just about like understanding how all of that stuff works, and that's what we're there for.
A lot of the time,
do you
like another take as well? So like if there's like a train or something, I don't have like a D-Train plugin.
D-Train. Yeah. Can you imagine?
Aww.
I can get out some of it, but not all of it.
Got a message from Elsie.
Girl, come in here. Join us.
She's about to go to sleep.
Come here, Elsie. Oh, I love Elsie.
The voice of Evelyn says, I'm watching. I really appreciate what Sarah said about my audio.
Come back here, you pink
You're welcome,
princess.
Elsie. Yes,
even Marco is watching.
Oh, Jason's here. Hey, Jason. I'm
Hi,
a
Elsie. Hi,
fanboy of
Hi,
Jason,
Jason.
by the way, guys. Like he's in my
He's a god.
in my game. He's in World of Warcraft. Did you know that, Sarah?
I did not. Wait, what?
In
What
the
part?
new expansion, he plays Prince Ranthal. The
Okay,
vampire,
I haven't played.
Oh right, yeah. I noticed.
I haven't played it because
really cool.
I play classic. Sorry, guys, I play classic. Another thing you can judge me on.
I wanted to ask the audio people real quick. Do you ever does anyone ever catch you yelling at or complaining at the people you're editing for things that they're not even aware of, like smacking or maybe to eat before they perform?
I never get mad at the voice actors. They do such a great job.
Mad at the software.
You'll never be mad at me.
I get mad at the software. Yeah, usually it's just me getting mad at Pro Tools for crashing or doing things that just really make no sense. You do get a bit of smacking sometimes, but that's just a part of it. It's so easy to fix, and it's not really a huge issue.
You have the luxury of working with some professional people. I've spent so much time in between sentences taking out all kind, or all kinds of noises, the smacking.
I don't know if other actors are like that, but I'm super paranoid about that stuff. I remove it myself because I would be like a random,
But it would be fun if I did it, Brendan. Leave it for me.
I even like if I have a voice break, like "Come here, you." I'm like, "Oh, that's going."
Yeah, a lot of the stuff that we fix is automated. and then we just tweak the settings, and then it renders it
Message
for
from
us.
Elsie.
It's all good, Elsie. We just love you. That's all.
We love you, Elsie. We just wanted
for
to
the
have you
audio podcast. Elsie said I would totally join, but it's nearly 2 a.m. and my boyfriend's asleep. Say hi to your boyfriend. Just like poke and be like, hey. They said hi.
Poor guy.
We have a super chat.
Oh.
Robert Kofer says, being voice actors, do you repeat the same line so many times that you suffer from semantic satiation?
So,
what's semantic satiation?
Is that when you say? I think that's when you say a phrase and you no longer like.
It
no
no
longer
longer
makes association. You lose association.
That sounds weird. Yeah.
It no longer makes
if
sense
you
in
said
your head.
watermelon 500 times or something, it just becomes watermelon. Well, it doesn't become a thing.
It's no longer watermelon. Like it's something. It's like you just center on the syllables instead of actually like what the word entirely means. Yeah.
The word
so you don't envision a watermelon when you say it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What does watermelon mean? That's a funny word. Watermelon.
Melon that has lots of water.
It's literally that, I guess.
I like the meme way of saying it. Y'all got your bike comments, but I got watermelon instead.
Watermelon.
Watermelon.
Watermelon. Yep.
Just realized Robin's surname, this is from Epic Fire. Robin's surname is very similar to, oh no.
Harry Potter, Barry Cotter. Oh no.
No.
What have you done?
I'm so sorry, honey. This is why he hates Harry
Brendan.
Potter. He's trying to keep his mouth shut. Like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I remember a conversation we had years ago where he's like, I don't like Harry Potter. And I'm like, well, why is that? And he's like, Robin, what's my last name? Barry. I'm sorry. What have you done?
I would be proud, man. I'd own that shit. Like
Brendan's like, nah, I'm out. I'm out. Bye. If you want to rant, I'll mute.
Can I just say, since Elsie's still here, I totally stalked you, and wow, do you? no, like her work, you know. And
hello, Elsie.
Hey, Elsie.
Yo, you want an Instagram girl?
I wanted
Let me
to
call
see, like,
you.
damn it, guys! I wanted to see what other stuff she had done, and wow, Elsie, can you sing? Oh my god, your voice gave me goosebumps. Like, wow. Also, I'm a huge fan of Wicked, and I saw you sing. I think it was Defying Gravity. Oh my god, you killed it! I love you. Yeah, amazing. Just amazing. Elsie!
Hey.
Hello!
Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of Evelyn herself.
Sorry, I'm in my pajamas and I have to be kind of quiet, but so I joined for a little bit. It's like 2 a.m.
Those look so comfy, though.
It is comfy.
She's all snuggy and comfy.
Making me sleepy, and I just woke up.
I know the time difference is crazy, but I thought I'd join for a little bit because I'm not sleepy, and that's okay.
I'll tell you this now. I've not been sleeping well since MetaRunner. I'm always wired. Like, I'm like, what are people saying? Like, oh my god, my Twitter's blowing up. Oh my god, this is blowing up. My YouTube, everything. People are so passionate about it. It's infectious.
Wait, you have fans?
You have fans?
You have fans?
You have fans? I'm like tired, Evelyn, right now. I'm like, I'm so tired. I can't go to sleep.
What do you reckon is probably your favorite line that like you say to, like, do you have a hook line, like a line that gets you back into Evelyn?
I think probably like You Have Friends was a good one.
Yeah,
I really liked all the lines, like the evil laughs that I had to do with like the glitchy and the scenes. They were so fun because I did so many laughs and only like 2 of them ended up being used in the episode. But I probably did like, I don't know, like 20 different laughs. So that was really fun. But yeah, she's just horrible, isn't she? But I love her.
Real quick, we need to explain to everybody, like especially the audio podcast audience, like we have Elsie Lovelock on, and either Elsie or can you explain? You play Evelyn on the Meta Runner. Can tell us who you are?
Yes, hi. I'm Elsie Clark. I voiced Evelyn, everyone's favorite pink-haired, horrible brat on. Yeah, thanks for having me for a little bit. I just thought I'd join because I love talking about it, and I just think it's such a great show, and everyone did such an amazing job on everything. So I'm just so pleased to be a part of it. So
I think
for having me.
That's one thing about the show I've noticed. So whenever we promote or talk about the show, we're not paid to do that. It's just because we're we're actually fans, all of us. We just nerd out about the show that we're in. I think that's a good sign. That you love a show that much, you can just talk underwater about it. And
yeah, for sure.
If I wasn't in it, I'd still be a fan of it.
Same.
It's just good writing, good acting, good music, good sound editing. Everything is top notch. And it draws you in.
Oh, 100%. I thought it was amazing before I even got a role in it. I was like, this is so good. And it was weird because I think I actually auditioned way back for Lucinia at first, and then they came back a year later, and they were like, oh, we have this other character. She's British. Do you want to give her a try? So I did, and then when I got it, I was so happy because I was I thought the show was so amazing.
I have to.
So pleased.
Oh my God!
Tori!
We have Celeste joining us.
God, this is getting amazing.
Somebody please introduce Celeste to the audience.
This is Celeste Nutley Smith, aka the voice of Tari, and yesterday was her birthday, so everyone wish her a happy birthday.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday
to you!
It's the Meta Runner Show, guys.
Hi, everyone. What do I say? I went out and stayed in a hotel, and I'm just picking up my kids, and I'm like, okay, I'll just jump in the chat and say hello.
I'm just so happy to see you. Holy, I want to know, did you let out an audible gasp in that last scene?
It was so good, wasn't it? Oh my God. I finally watched it yesterday, which was super exciting to watch it all. And I hadn't told my husband what was going on, so I really wanted to see what his reaction was. And it was so good. Oh my God, what a last moment!
How did he respond? I want to know.
Try not to spoil anything because Brad has not seen anything.
Yeah. Cryptic.
Was David's not in the show anymore? So.
There we go.
That wasn't as cryptic as we would have liked.
That's all right. I have a theory that he'll come back with an eye patch now and be even more evil. It makes sense.
Oh my
He's
God,
got an excuse.
Evil Lux ×2.
Amazing.
Well played. Now I have an eye patch that makes me even eviler.
I'm evil ×2.
Everyone knows eye patch equals double evil as a villain.
Well, I really liked David's performance in that last episode. Just sort of the way he was starting to crumble, and he could no longer, he couldn't come up with any more ideas. He was still
security cartridge.
Yeah, I thought that was really
hold
good.
all my calls. I need a cappuccino.
Elsie's very proud of the fact that people don't like Evelyn.
But I think that's a mark of success for an actor who plays a bad person. If people hate your character, you've done something right.
Yeah, I like it. So.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And now we wait for the Evelyn plushie.
Yeah, I hope so. I really want one.
I hope so.
So I'm talking to AJ right now, seeing if he's available. That'd be cool to have AJ in here.
Oh,
yeah. Oh my God, yes.
He needs to drop that
AJ is the awesome dude who made the music for Meta Runner. So we'd have voice actors, sound editors, and the soundtrack.
The only legend. Oh my God, I love him.
The music.
He made the music happen. My favorite moment with Jeff was when I was going over my lines for the final episode, and the part where I look at the body pillow. I was supposed to say, "Ma'am," but I'm like, Jeff, I'm serious. I think I think he needs to say "milady." And Jeff paused for a moment. He was like, "Yes, do it."
That was glorious. That was
great.
a moment in the series.
Good to be back. I miss all of my friends, milady.
That's a great line, and I think in how serious everything was, we sort of needed Theo, I think, to break up.
I have no idea what's going on right now. Just that little line from little kids listening to everything that's happening and just hearing him be all like, "I have no idea what's going on right now," but I agree with everything that just said. Also, Tart and Celeste is also voicing, SMG4 Atari, and they actually had a voice for Melanie. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to release who the name is, so I won't, but they found someone to voice Melanie, the watermelon human girl, and they asked me to edit a lot of Melanie's lines so that I had to export each and every take that she did one by one in their different folders. So I'm like, I don't know what's worse, having to edit all of this or being the one to have to voice all of this. I have to ask Celeste, what was it like recording all those lines for SMG4 Tari?
I didn't mind that. Actually, it was mostly because Jeff likes us to take 3 takes of every single one. So there's 3 different versions. But it's funny because sometimes it's just like saying like, Mario. You just say it in like, and then you have to say it in a happy way, say it in a sad way, say it in this. And it took a while, but once you've done them, you don't actually have to do them again unless they need like a special one-off line.
Oh, what? We're losing Shalane?
So everybody, I'm going to sign off. It has been lovely chatting with you all.
Oh, it's Celeste leaving.
It's time for me to go.
Oh.
But Celeste, we all love you.
Hi, Tommy. Bye. Bye.
All right, she's gone now. We can say only nice things about her.
Oh my goodness.
It's really strange. This show is like being part of a family. I think it's really strange. Like I've never met like half the voice actors on the other side of the world.
Who is that?
I didn't hear a call.
Bloody hell! Hold on. Should I answer? Like, I'm on. Hey, you're live on. Like thousands of people are watching you. Can you say something cool?
You were muted, Robin.
Here in the other room.
All right.
She was yelling
mute and stop the call.
through Brendan's microphone.
Is it mine?
Sorry, I was typing to your sister like, we're in a stream, Sheridan. Which is funny enough how his sister's name is Sheridan, and we have a character in Meta Runner named Sheridan.
What?
Yeah.
And there's a brand of alcohol called Sheridan.
Just as evil, both of them.
Oh my god! That's your sister. So yeah, it's accurate. I'm kidding.
That's mean.
I love you, Sheridan.
Right. They're just a blood relative. It's fine.
It's fine. We just had to see them around Christmas. It's fine. A message from David. They're best fans of VA could hope for, and I'm grateful as hell. Aww.
We've got to tell David that he's like, we have a theory he'll come back with an eye patch. Like, let him know. He's totally coming back with an eye patch. And then it'll be a meta eye. It'll be meta running eyes, you know?
It'll be a meta pirate. Arr.
It'll be like, I'm always watching.
Sheridan's been hiding his booze in the coffee cups. Yes, because there actually is a brand of alcohol called Sheridan. It's some sort of coffee liqueur, so that would work. Yeah, that maybe that's what they base the character on, just coffee liquor.
When he gets his coffee, his cups say Sheridan, not because of his name, it's because of the alcohol's in it. That's why.
Brad, would you like to read this?
Holly Campbell said, "Hi, 2 a.m. in UK here, watching the podcast and hoping I don't fall asleep. Have a great time, guys."
Same as Elsie.
Elsie, yep. Fist bump them. Was it
not that tired?
So I am curious, for someone who's joined obviously in season 2, did that add any extra pressure as an actor? Like, and did you binge everything prior, or only after you got the role, or like?
Yeah, I'd watched some of it before I got the role, and I thought it was really good. But I'm like one of those people who's really bad at like sticking
up,
to shows
yeah.
and watching stuff. So when I did get the role, I was like, okay, I've got to like, seriously watch it all so I know what's going on. So I did watch it all. And I was just really impressed with the performances, and I was just like, you know, I want to fit in. I want to be like as good as everybody else. So I think that was kind of like my main worry. And I always get paranoid during sessions anyway, that I'm like not, you know, I'm like, I don't want to be the one that's the worst. You know? So like, you know, but it was
I feel that. What's up?
We have Jason.
What?
Yeah.
Somebody
I don't
tell
see
us.
it yet.
Oh my god! It's Jason!
It's Marco!
Marco!
Okay, so who's Jason Marco? Somebody.
This is Jason Marnoka. He is the voice of Marco in Meta Runner Season 2.
Hey.
The guy with the metal arms.
Oh.
The legend himself.
Oh yes.
We caught you in a recording booth, it looks like.
Yeah, this is the house where my computer lives. So
It's just such a cool looking booth. It looks so
it's taking
badass.
up space in my living room.
He looks like he's in a Mario boss level.
Oh yeah. Keep my color scheme consistent.
And everything.
Black and red.
You guys are acting like you've never been in a sound booth before.
No. Hey, but I think some of the fans haven't, so I just had to sort of, you know, make a joke, run with it. You know?
I don't have one.
Really?
I don't record it. No, I was going to say when you were talking about my audio, I actually recorded Evelyn on 3 different mics. So throughout the span of episodes, the mics changed and then my space changed because I was in like a closet booth for the first like 3 episodes because we did an episode 4. And then I like moved outside, and then by the last 2 episodes I was like in the space that I'm in now. So it was like finally like kind of up to par and really good. So when you said that, I was like, oh thank God. I was so paranoid. It sounded like
whatever you did, it worked really well.
Thank you.
Overall,
Thank
the
you so much.
voice quality is pretty good.
I love your work. I love everyone's work here. Like, yeah. Although I gotta know this. I gotta put out a challenge, Jason. I want to hear your take on Masa. I really want to hear it because you got.
Oh my god! Yes.
Oh jeez.
Do it.
Give him a line, Brendan.
I could just talk about how awesome Ko is, because clearly that's the sort of thing that Masa Shimamoto thinks. So, yeah, but he's pretty. He sounds. He's kind of in this range, isn't he? He's very throaty.
Yeah, very
here.
gruff, slight
He's
gravel.
very throaty back there, but he's got kind of that Batman cool about him.
I like it because like. We're in this relatively similar range with that character voice, but they're so different, those two voices, and they play off each other quite well. You know, like there is a rivalry going on there between them, and I think that like you just brought the thunder on that, man. Like holy heck, like that, like you can feel the animosity, and I just love it. Like you cut it off like. Masa Shimamoto. I'm like, oh wow, like the way the
poster boy,
golden boy,
golden boy.
I didn't. It's interesting. If my memory serves, I didn't have a visual for Marco. I was told that he was a big guy, and that he and then I got to see it at the end, and I'm like, oh, hey, he's got a nice,
that worked out well.
I look good.
He looks like you. Like he has like the same.
I was just gonna say it. I think it's a handsome looking character, right? Like
yeah, he looks good.
I remember the first time we saw Marco, he was completely naked and had no hair.
Yeah. Oh my god!
Was he like
it's so hard to take characters seriously when you can see their butts. Like, especially Masa. Like, Masa's the best because, like, I remember when we first saw Masa, because you know he didn't have an arm, so his arm was actually like it was there, and you were completely naked. You could see your butt, but then your arm was just like glued onto your body, as in like, there's no arm here. What are you talking? It's so funny.
Oh
and you're
God.
saying all these like serious lines, and I'm like, I just can't do
I
this.
think we'll have to talk to the Glitch boys and be like, OnlyFans meta runner when?
I remember like
the fans
really
will pay
early
for
on.
it, man. The fans will pay for it.
Really early on in the
everybody
series,
kept,
all the extras were Masa as well.
Like an army of masters.
Yeah. Basically, like most of the side extra characters were just Masa.
AJ.
It's Masas everywhere.
For the audience that don't know, like Jason and Elsie are heavy hitters. They're established in the industry. They're amazing artists, and they're in heaps of works, like some really big stuff. But so I'm curious, like, because for me personally as an actor, when Meta Run is the first big thing I've been in, and even though you know something's coming in the script, when you see it, it's like deja vu. Like you remember recording it, but it was like months ago, and I can still be shocked by what's happening, even though I technically know what's going to happen, because it's different. It's like an out of body experience watching yourself perform in something. I wonder if you guys have the similar feelings, especially with that finale.
I have it all the time with stuff personally.
Yeah,
what do you mean? Jason, you go.
Yeah, well, the ladies first and all that. So, I run into that all the time. Like that's why I always say that I'm really good with NDAs, which are non-disclosure agreements. Basically, things like don't talk about it.
Out of sight, out of mind.
We say you can talk about it. I'm really good because I'll go in and record something and be like, well, that was fun, whatever I did. All right, moving on to the next thing. Like I for some reason, with stuff like I'm very good at like doing the thing and then putting it away and like go and do the next thing and whatever. So like I'm very good at like, which makes it exciting when I watch something else, like because when something new comes out, I'm just like, oh yeah.
AJ!
AJ!
Hello. I don't know what's wait. I can't hear anything.
The man of the myth. The
legend. Oh my gosh.
We can hear you.
Dude, I love your work so much. I have to say that before I got the chance, that it was so ridiculously good, and I need the soundtrack to drop tomorrow.
Right away. Right in the post, first thing.
So, let's introduce AJ and then answer the super chat and then continue.
This is so much fun.
Somebody introduce AJ.
All right, everyone.
Robin?
Let's all do it at once so the audience is confused.
Yeah.
This is AJ. He's the composer for all of Meta Runner, including the intros and the outros. He's just
oh my god,
a champ.
Literally always running.
I've never actually spoken to him, face to face before, but we chat all the time because we've got a chat that we all work on, and
I've
he's
been
just
praising
amazing.
him since season 1. Like, yeah, he's incredible at what he does. I just so much talent. Like, what else can you really say? Like, listening is believing in that statement. It's true. He nails
stop,
what he does.
Stop.
Oh no! You came in here.
He doesn't like the praise.
This is why I waited.
He's a good boy, everybody. He's a good boy, and we all love him.
Pat him.
Oh, thank you guys.
I feel like music does its job when it makes you emotional in some way, and I kind of feel that way every time I hear like Only Up, or even the ending, the credit song.
Yeah,
season 2 as well is like so like. It's got loads of emotion to it, and I always feel like that's the mark of like some really good music. So like, you seriously did such a great job. Like, I know I keep talking about it, but
when it hits you in the soul of the scene and what's going on, like I like that in that last episode. Like, you don't overpower the music, but it's there and it pushes. It's not ramming it down your throat. It's like a current that carries you gently. Like, you know what I mean? But that, you can go a couple different ways with music, but if it's too heavy, it makes it sappy, right? It makes it, you feel like you're being coerced into something that you don't want to feel, rather than carry gently. And I think you nailed it you nailed it in all episodes, but particularly in that last one, because it has such gravitas to it. I think you can see that. Like, I don't know if any of you guys have watched it yet. Watch the reactions to people watching those scenes. There's 2 main scenes. where Masa tries to jump Lux, and then the scene at the end there where everything all unfolds. You can see people like they're in a state of shock. And that's, as artists, like, it's a collaboration, but a huge part of it is sound and music. You guys nailed it. Like, I've watched that scene now more times than I care to state, because it looks a bit self-indulgent, but holy heck, like, knocked it out of the park. Like, I the thing is, I don't get sick of seeing it. It doesn't seem old. There's always something else I pick up on. That's what
There's
I can't
a lot happening,
believe.
yeah.
Even
Actually,
from the animation. Yeah.
It was a fun scene.
Mike was saying, like, I remember when you were saying about the decision AJ made to not put music at that certain point. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah.
Guys.
Oh my gosh! How many people can we squeeze into this?
Oh my god! I think maximum is 10.
Haley Nelson.
There we go.
We're gonna have like 40 webcams.
Guys, we have the voice of Sofia herself, Haley Nelson.
Hey, I figured.
Hey.
Screw it. I got time. I can go.
A couple minutes. It's just a couple minutes. It's fine. You
Celeste
broke my
was
bloody
saying-
heart with your line, by the way, Haley. You
Oh,
broke it.
thank you. Yeah, like I said, that was one where we're like, let's do it like this, and then, let's go more desperate. So, but yeah, so it
was so good.
Yeah, it was. Oh my god, yeah, amazing show.
I'm overwhelmed right now looking at all these faces here and having nothing but gratitude and appreciation.
It was really
for being
cool.
Something so freaking amazing with you guys. I have genuine love for all the people here. Holy heck, I'm overwhelmed. This is the best
Me
Christmas
too.
present I could want.
Wow.
Right now.
And then you too, Brad. You too.
Yeah. Well, Brad, you're an old-time friend as well, so it's nice that you're here to share it.
Yeah, Brad's the one that pretty much helped me make my YouTube channel. We just started as a podcast.
And then that.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, that's what got her into voice acting. Her getting into voice acting meant she met me, and now we're here today. So
thank you, Brad.
Meta Runner is possible by Brad.
And viewers like you.
But I know it sounds. I totally mean it. It sounds a bit hokey, but I'm sincere when I say I have nothing but love and adoration for all of you guys here, and this is really cool to actually talk to you. AJ, you're a legend. I'm so glad you came in and joined us today as well. I think it's like actors are used to sort of being put up front and center, but a lot of the sound stuff, like, you guys don't get credit as much as you deserve, and I think. Thank you for joining us here for that too, so we can actually express some of that gratitude.
I think Sarah and Mike deserve a lot of credit too, because they're not only doing the sound, they're mixing it all together, which includes my music. So it's
a
whole
beautiful
process.
marriage, though.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely.
Don't worry, I show my appreciation to Mike and Sarah by, giving them random stuff on Animal Crossing. Here's a
DIY. That's all they need.
Come on, Sarah, let's play Phasmophobia. Woo!
Elsie will be in on that like in a heartbeat. Bam, she's there.
Oh, I'll play that. Yeah, I'll play it with you. I love that game.
Theo and Evelyn playing Phasmophobia. Hey, Evelyn, what's this?
I would like to be fair, and also I would also like to ask Haley and AJ what they personally felt with the ending. Were they ready for it? So we'll start with Haley, and then we'll go AJ. Okay.
Cool. Well, when I got the script, what I usually do is I usually read the whole script, so I kind of knew ahead of time. But I'm just like, I don't know if I can curse in here, so I'm just like, gosh darn, flipping crap. Look at the size of that hole in his head. And but yeah, no, I was I don't know if I thought that there was going to be like a death, but I knew there was going to be something really dramatic just by just predicting it. But the ending was, I did not expect it. That's all I guess I can.
It's not meta runner unless we have a dramatic ending.
That's true.
And you know the fans will always say, Kevin, and your bloody cliffhangers.
Oh, by the way, speaking of,
seeing that in the comments.
I don't know if I can say this, but I remember in the script when I was reading the line where it's like, you've got more people watching you than a girl on cosplay day.
line.
One of the little side notes was, really, Kevin?
I remember on E-Night, an E-Girl on cosplay night.
Yeah, or something like that. But yeah.
A lot of those are contributed from Kevin, and Jeff's just like, really?
Yeah, but I think for me the coolest thing ever, and maybe this is just me, like, because the coolest thing ever was the fact that Kitsunoa made a cameo. Or not cameo, but she actually had like a couple, 2 episodes in, and the fact that I got to do some sort, it was really small. It was a little that little part. Just the fact that got to be in a video with her is like. Pretty cool.
Haley, you should feel special because you're basically the only one who really got to tell Lux off and like, hey, we got you, buddy. Like,
yeah, that was
how did that feel?
You delivered that so perfect. It was like, yeah.
I love it. I love
so
Jess's
good.
spiel at the end.
Yeah, that was
Jess's
fun.
spiel was so good. When Jess got to oh, sorry, did I cut off Elsie? You go ahead, Elsie.
I didn't say anything. You go.
I was just saying, I love where Jess like gets to rip into him. Really, you're gonna try and gaslight us now? Like, bravo, girl. Yeah.
All of us were in the studio watching it like.
Wow.
Just like that guy from episode 4 of season 1.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Rob, do you want to get this next one?
All right, this is for Jason and Brendan from Lunas, who sent us a super chat of $20. Thank you very much. Jason, love your work as Prince Renathal in World of Warcraft and your work as Marco. Trixon is Masabe. Love you. Thanks for inspiring me to watch the show.
Oh my God, Haley, are you okay?
Are you okay, Haley? She's in California. It's an earthquake, guys. Watch out.
There we go.
There you go. But thank you, Lunith D. That's very sweet of you.
What's your okay? Since I know she's a huge fan, what's probably do you remember any of your Renathal lines? Like, is there one you'd like to deliver?
Oh gosh, no, we did a lot of Renathal. I don't know if I remember anything specific. And there goes my memory. It doesn't work. No, I don't. I just remember it was fun to sort of be this very super kind of sexy vampire character.
Regal, I'd say too.
Oh yes, desperately regal. He throws parties and all that sort of thing. So that was really fun. And I think the only line I remember would be spoiler territory, so I won't say it. But yeah, he was a lot of fun. And then and getting to be in scenes with Ray Chase and things like that was really fun. And all the animatics are just great. And I really love the few animations that you get in between scenes that aren't actually the really what's the cinematics. So the stuff sort of in between, because they only have a certain amount of programmable gestures. So he does this with his hand a lot, which I really like. There's just something very elegant about. And I have vampire claws as well. So
so cool.
It's like you're taking the anima out of the air.
Yeah, it's like it's all coming back home, isn't it? But Marco was so different because Marco's just way cooler than I am. So he's got everything under lock all the time.
Cool.
So he's a super cool guy.
I just love how you say superstar celebrities.
Superstar celebrities.
Superstar celebrities.
Oh my God. OMG.
Maybe at the end we could all do different lines from each other just to hear it as other characters for fun.
Oh, that'd be really funny.
That would be fun.
So we didn't ask AJ though yet, that question about so you knew it was coming. Had you seen it so many times after scoring and stuff like that? You're like, okay, that's what happens, or did it still have an impact?
Well, we were a part of setting up the whole making sure it just worked, like from like the build up to the shot, and then Mike and Sarah did the rigging and everything. I'm like so intimidated by like me only being on the screen right now. He just like moving back.
He did the same thing to me. I was just like, "Oh, hi, Mom."
But yeah, no, I love what they did. I think what shocked me the most was the Sheridan setup, and I wish Anthony was here because they planted Sheridan throughout the whole show. And there was some stuff until like a couple of days ago that I didn't even know, like how Sheridan bumped into Masa on episode 8
at the arena
and planted the thing on his arm. Because I was like, I always saw it on his arm, and I was like, I don't even know how it got there, but I'm just like, I figured it out.
Robin spotted that when we were watching it. She immediately went, "There, that's when it happens." Because you see the face and like, "Oh, of course."
I remember you mentioned that when we did when we watched the last episode, and I was like,
So Gerard is actually watching the stream. He's one of the project managers of MetaRunner, and he has a message for Elsie.
Oh.
Tell Elsie I'm sorry for the drunken message on Friday night.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, my God.
Oh, me, oh, my.
That was when I gave like a little video tour when I was drunk. Like, this is glitch, Elsie. Wait, bye, Jared.
It was great. I love that video tour. It was brilliant. Really cool studio. Thank you for the tour. And everyone was very happy and enjoying themselves, and it just looks so well deserved,
It was interesting. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember what merriment looks like. There it is. I'd forgotten by now.
Robin sort of put me off guard with that. She's like, "Jason's on the outside." I'm like,
"Bye."
Hi.
Tell him to go away.
I've been drinking, and I'm a huge fan, but I'm like, I'm not ready for this right now. I was like, I don't know how to like condense all the thoughts and feelings I want to say. I'm like, hi. That's what it came out as.
Lovely.
Hi, works.
Everyone's so happy.
So, all right, this is the first time I've ever seen AJ in anything, so I'm so actually excited. There's just too many cool people. I've got to give them all attention. But I want to know which track. A few things. What was the hardest track to compose for you out of the season 2, and what just came naturally and you had fun with? Like, what was just bam out of the way, done? I'm happy with that. It came out exactly how I wanted.
Hardest. I think I was really frustrated with the turbo crash stuff. I had no idea what I was doing the whole time. I was also like extremely late, and I was like freaking out. And they were like, "AJ, we need you to finish this like today." And I'm like, "No, okay."
That's usually us like yelling at AJ, like, "Hurry up!"
Episode 3 was easily the hardest episode.
Oh, episode 3 was a killer for everyone, all of us.
Yeah, it was tough.
It was such a good episode from a fan perspective, though. Like, holy heck, there's just so much in that. Like, it's off the main plot. You introduce a new character. That new character hits really like strongly, and then on top of that, it's action packed. It's the back and forth between the characters in that episode. It's just so fun. It's well written, that episode. And then honestly, like, I would not have known you guys had any issues with composing or directing sound. But also, I do know that afterwards, because Shalane mentioned it. He said you had no idea how much sound effects we had to put in with cars and in the middle of a lockdown. So Melbourne was in lockdown when this was happening. They still managed to make sounds for all that. Like, I don't know how you guys did it.
So normally we'd actually go out and record cars, but we couldn't.
Yeah. So I had to synthesize them instead.
Wow.
I wouldn't have been able to tell. Like, honestly, it fits.
Idea.
You guys are good.
Go figure. You're super talented.
That's what you guys did last
You're
year,
not
right?
just talented. You're super talented.
What was that, AJ? Sorry?
You guys recorded cars last year, right?
Yeah, we did.
We did, yeah. We had some recordings, yeah. But Michael had to synthesize a lot of it, just regardless, because there's just so many different types of cars, and like you can't just use the one car, you know.
So we had a bunch of different engines.
A few times, then just see what you can do with just that. Obviously.
Vroom vroom.
You know what?
I Okay.
You know what? You know how I like doing Foley for you guys. Next time, I'll just get a didgeridoo and run past the microphone really quickly.
You just want to be a car, don't you? You're like, no, I haven't had hard enough roles. I need to also be a car.
I need
Is
to
that
be a
what it is?
crab.
Bring out the
I
real
need
truth of that car.
Yeah.
Dear Glitch, please make a car crab, and I will be the best car crab there is.
Car crab.
I kind of like that.
I don't know.
idea,
I
that
need a
visual.
challenge
That
as an
sounds
actor,
awesome.
man.
I just like the idea of being like, see that car? I voiced that.
Yeah.
I mean, there is like a movie called Cars. Like that is a thing.
See that broom broom?
But yeah.
That broom broom is me.
I did that broom broom.
Ben
All right,
Sill
all right.
has a question. He asked, "What exactly inspired the writers to come up with Evelyn exactly?"
God,
That would
I
be a
don't think
question
we
for
know
Jeff,
that
I guess.
directly. We had to get. Is Gerard? Was it Gerard, Robin?
Gerard, I think he is watching. I can try to ask him. I can also ask Jeff because he's the head writer. I don't know, just leave a message. Like, I'm still streaming. They're asking this question. Like, what inspired Evelyn?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not something that any of us can really answer. I wanted to. I wanted to ask AJ. What did you and were you like the final choice, the decision? Sorry, to choose Liz Robinette. Was that you that chose her, or was that sort of Glitch as well? Or?
Liz and her husband Drew are good friends of mine. We were looking for a female vocalist. I came up with a small list of people I knew, but I kind of already knew who I wanted, which of course was Liz. And then I gave them the list, and then they all chose Liz right away. So it was a good fit, of course.
Awesome, yeah. If people don't know, Liz Robinette sings "Only Up," which is the intro to season 2 of Meta Runner.
Such a good.
She's awesome.
Elsie has said on record that she ran up and down her hallway singing that song.
Oh my god, that's so cool to hear. Honestly,
If it wasn't so late, I'd love to hear her rendition.
Yes, Elsie, please.
That's only like 3 a.m.
Okay, I got an answer from Gerard. He says, I can't say for certain about Evelyn. Jeff would know better, but I believe we wanted to make a character that you love to hate that is a polar opposite to Tari.
That's what I was thinking.
Oh,
too. I
that's
thought she was such a perfect, exact opposite of Tari.
Very smart.
Right.
Yeah. Makes a lot of sense.
She's the opposite, all right.
Oh, and Jeff's typing his answer too. I'll read his answer if he's done typing. He's still typing.
Also, Haley's phone died, guys. That's why she's not here anymore.
Yeah, she said her phone died.
Okay, here's what Jeff is the head writer of Meta Runner. This is what he answered. Well, I know Belle wasn't going to be a villain anymore, so I needed someone else to fill the shoes of Tari's Meta Runner opposition. We always wanted to explore what it's like to be a rookie Meta Runner, and I thought someone who had worked really hard to become a Meta Runner would absolutely hate Tari for skipping the line.
That's well
Sounds
put.
accurate.
I like that.
Yeah,
And it makes sense. So then, okay, I always thought that Evelyn's aesthetic was to be cutesy, to be young, but I think maybe, she's probably maybe only, like 14, 16 or something.
I didn't think it was possible. Sorry, El.
Oh, no, sorry. I was going to say, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was going to say, I think she's really interesting because, I just love that dynamic between, she's so overly, obnoxiously cute on the outside, and then inside she's just got so much hate. That's why I love her so much, because it's such an interesting dynamic to work with. And when we were recording her lines, Jeff would always say stuff like, okay, now we're going to go into sweet and happy Evelyn, and then we're going to go into angry psycho Evelyn, because she has 2 different kind of voices.
Straight up bipolar,
I think it's,
The scary thing is,
And then
there are totally people like her, like that in the industry too. They're just
totally.
they're all puppies and rainbows to you, but then they'd stab you in the back.
It's such an entertainment industry staple. It's you get those people who are like, I'm more perfect, on the outside, and then inside it's they're so full of hate, and they don't know how to
They're
contain their
bitter.
jealousy. Bitter, and all it does in the end is it just ruins them. And she's a perfect example of that.
I was going to say before, I didn't think it was possible for someone to be more angry than Belle, but then Evelyn came along.
Damn. Wait. Jeff added on, I made her a prissy and a brat in order to make her more like she came from Lux's side of the tracks instead of the poorer, more rebel and punk characters we have in our main cast.
She's affluent.
Yeah. That's really interesting.
She's rich, spoiled. Yeah.
Spoiled brat. And I like the fact that she was British as well, because you don't really get that, in the fact that they got, me, an actual British person to do a British character, because, so many Americans, I was, so terrified, they get, an American to be putting on, a fake British accent.
I don't know if it's the same for an Englishman, but as an Australian, it feels so weird when someone mimics our accent, g'day mate, how you doing, crikey? I'm just like, holy heck, what are you doing? You are murdering my ear.
Doesn't it?
Final Fantasy 13. That's all I'm gonna say. Final Fantasy 13. Nope.
There was the English translation for Free Eternal Summer. They had to change the dialogue a little bit because they couldn't really translate how Haru couldn't understand English when his actor is speaking English. So they had to, in the Japanese dub, they had real Australian actors performing these two characters. But when Funimation redubbed it, they had to change their lines. So they had American actors replace the Aussies. So it went from a very refined accent to, "G'day, Haru. Any friend of Ren's a friend of mine."
Oh my god.
Ren, you were right about him. Cool as a cucumber and eyes clear as water. And I can hear Brendan listening to the dub from his room just screaming, "Ah!"
That's the first time I've ever heard Robin do an Aussie accent, and it was fantastic.
That was the only reason why I did it, because that's pretty much the Funimation Aussie.
Let's do an experiment here. Robin, instead of saying McDonald's, can you say Macca's?
Macca's.
The first time I said it, because you guys are like, oh, it's pronounced
Just
this
say it
way.
now.
Mackers?
No. It's Macca's. There's no R.
Maccas.
What about... Yeah, the other one was Parramatta. She says Parramatta.
I said Parramatta, and they're just like, it's Parramatta. I'm like, Parramatta?
And
like when we were playing cards against...
She saw the word ute and said, an oot?
That's an oot? And they're like, Robin, it's pronounced ute. Oh.
Haley's back!
Yeah.
Cool.
What do you hear, Sean?
Emu.
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 Emu or emu?
It's emu.
Hey, AJ.
I talk too much.
Yeah.
Shaggy Flick wants to know if there's ever going to be a soundtrack of Meta Runner.
Yes.
Yeah. Sometime in January. That's all I can say. I don't even know.
Actually, by the end of this, it's like, you know what? No, you can't have it. Enough.
Yeah, it's not happening.
You will never see it again.
You ruined it.
I can't wait. I love it. I can't wait for that to drop.
It'll have to be like in a black case with gold writing and be like the ultimate collection. You know, like,
I buy it. I want it.
Including like riff tracks with like the cast doing rap battles.
Oh my god, okay.
Oh my god, yeah.
There are a lot of anime out there like One Piece where there's like this intro song and then they get all the characters to actually sing that song and take turns saying different like
lines
and stuff like that. So that would be a really cool thing. Since everyone here apparently can sing, that'd be so cool to like sing maybe Only Up or something with the whole crew. Like that would be fantastic.
I don't know if you want Masa doing that.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Soaring high.
I definitely do. Soaring high.
That would be brilliant.
But I feel like that would be
love that
something
so
that people would really want to see. Yeah.
Oh goodness! Did you say you were getting tired, Brad?
I'm okay. It's been like 2.5 hours.
I'm having fun. I don't know. I yeah.
We'll keep going as long as
she
you
can be
guys
asleep
want.
and just we'll keep streaming. Yeah. The
But
show
just
must go
ruin
on.
the
You're an
outfit.
actor.
Elsie just be right there, just snoring. It's like, oh.
By the way, Elsie, you sound like you're underwater. I think your microphone is in your robe.
It is. You're completely right. You sound a bit better now.
Okay, a little bit, yes.
Okay, sorry.
She looks so comfortable.
It's really, really cozy.
I've lost the name. Oh yeah. So what was the track that you've? I may as well. I don't think we finished this. What was the track that just flew like by for you that you were happy with, AJ?
The what? Wait, what?
It's like,
What track? Yeah, I felt like we missed that because there was a super chat or something, and I never got to finish that. What track do you really love from season 2 that I just you connected with? It just like you're proud of.
Like in the score, because I mean, I could say the main theme right off the bat, but I guess in the score, jeez, it's a hard thing to answer. I'm not sure, man.
How about we narrow it to an episode then?
Ooh,
if you had to.
Episode 8, actually, I loved episode 8, just the whole thing, especially the end when mostly Jeff was just like, we want the main theme of season 1 to come in here. And I was like, yeah,
like a spark of hope.
Yeah,
like a spark of hope for them. Yeah,
yeah. When Tari gets her jacket back, and then you can hear like the main theme.
Yeah.
And it's like that moment, and you're like, oh, you're crying. I got all emotional from doing it because it was like 2 whole years since this started. And I remember when I first wrote that piano main theme from season 1, and to bring it back after like 2 years was actually just a whole mess of feelings for sure.
Like you weren't alone when you did that though. I remember like, because I'm a nerd and I've like not just in meta, I'm also a massive fan. I looked through all the comments of people's videos. You wouldn't believe when people went, "Oh my heart," the main theme when they heard it. Like they all just like, "Oh," like yes, like the jacket's back, and then also the comment like, "How come she has her arm uncovered with a jacket?" But a motif is a powerful thing, especially as artists, Mm-hmm. So as a musician, if you bring that motif back, it hits people, and you did such a good job with it too.
Especially in episode 10. Like I really liked the callback to MD5 and Sheridan. Mm-hmm. Like all that stuff was great.
Thank you.
Oh, I was still crying when a certain someone appeared. I was like bordering on it because the music was so good.
I love that reveal, Jason's reveal, like the build up on that music too. Like it's just like, ha, there he is, guys.
I love all of the setups for season 3. You have like Belle and Masa together, and then you have the gang with Marco, and I don't know what he's gonna do with them, and then you have Evelyn and Sheridan, which is like insane. That's like some anime villain stuff right there. Like, for real.
What the hell are they gonna do?
I don't know if individually, but together it's like too much.
Yeah, it's gonna be. It's gonna be so funny. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Message from Juan Pena. I have been a fan of SMG4 since 2013. I've been a longtime fan, and I just want to say everyone did great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Juan.
Thank you.
As for Patrick's question, will Glitch release the models anytime soon? What he's talking about is, I think for the SMG4 2020 collab video, they released the SMG4 models for everyone to use if they were going to animate using Machinima. As for the models from MetaRunner, I can't really say for sure because I'm not in charge of that. I don't know.
Well, why not?
I would
why
say
aren't you in
no.
charge of that?
The other thing I will say,
are they going to do it?
The other thing I will say about Glitch is that, like, for fans, you have no idea how busy and hard they work. Like, they're always just flat chat, like busy. Like it's crazy. Like you see, even if you pop in, they're always doing something. Like they're always like hitting deadlines and working their butts off. Like so, be patient. Be patient. Like they'll get to it when they can. Like it's like Luke and Kevin. They're just always and all the people that work under them are just nonstop. So be patient. Like they're doing the best.
They're honestly so dedicated, you guys. Like, we've had things where Luke will tell us that he's sending us something, and sometimes it's like 3 a.m. and he'll send it to us. You know what I mean? Like, he really does put everything into it, and all of them do. Like,
sometimes they'll just be asleep in the studio, still working on this. That they're so dedicated to their craft that it's just you just want to put them aside and say, just take a breather, and they're like, no, I have to finish. And it's just like everyone at SMG4 English are such an incredible team. There you go, Jeff. A message from SW. The finale of season 2 is very, very smartly written twist ending.
It is.
I think it's not just that. It's all the dialogue in that episode is just it's on point. Like every person in that episode has something to shine with. I like even Theo, who's meant to be just, sort of the light comedy. Their lines hit as well, Like I even like yeah, lock him up. Like I thought that was great, and
lock him up.
It's not just the twists, the characters. You're engaged with everything they're saying because it actually has weight. It's not empty. It's like they're expressing something, And good writing does that. I think like Haley was great. Everyone was great. And I love that. After credits scene too. Obviously, I love Evelyn doing her thing.
Daddy.
I'm on my way home.
I'm sure like a lot of people didn't watch it because I was talking to my mate Jack, and he was saying, I was like, oh, because he asked me like, what happened there? Like, what's going on? Why did this happen? And I'm like, oh, so you didn't watch the credits scene? And he's like, credits scene? And I'm like, yeah, there's a scene afterwards. He's like, I'll be right back. And then he just like went back and watched it. He's like, oh, this makes so much more sense now. And I'm like, you idiots.
These kids had never seen a Marvel movie in their life.
Yeah. Marvel, eat your heart out.
So everyone who didn't watch the credits scene, make sure you go back and watch it.
So if anyone's watched the reacts, like I do see that sometimes where people forget to like they'll just go, oh, that was it. I guess Marco's just a really bad guy. I'm like, okay. I'm like, hi, voice actor for Marcia here. Hey, maybe just watch a little bit after the
Here's a tip.
Just a little bit.
Just give it 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Randall Green has a question for Haley. Here's a question for you. What is your favorite holiday cartoon?
Oh boy. So I am such a Christmas whore. So it's like pretty much the whole house. I'm obsessed with Christmas. So
I might have an idea.
Favorite child, but I think more recent years, my favorite Christmas cartoon is probably Small One from the 70s. I want to say it was by Don Bluth when he was still working at Disney. It was by Disney, but it's this gorgeous, just beautifully well done cartoon that not very many people know, but it's called The Small One, and it's this beautiful story, beautifully it's Disney animation. It's gorgeous, but it should be free on YouTube. So if you want to go watch it, I highly recommend it. It's so well done, really heartfelt, and yeah, I love it. That's probably
I totally expected the Grinch. Really I was wrong.
The Grinch is up there though. Yeah, the 66 one.
All right, all of us meta runner people. What's our favorite? I want Jeff to answer this too. What's our favorite meta runner moment? Go.
Oh boy,
that's a hard one, you guys.
Are we talking season 2 or 1, or overall?
I think overall. I if we want to do one for each, like for season 1, my favorite is Theo getting launched into the air, and you see this tiny little speck, and you just hear "wee." But also in season 2, my favorite part has to be, oh, angry shouty lady.
So are we doing this for like our characters or for just the thing in general?
I think in general, but if you want to answer for your character, I just like those two because I just remember reading angry shouty lady. I'm like, yes,
I think
this is Belle.
When Master punches Lux, it was so it was like that was so brilliant. I was like, hell.
Did you guys see the like really seedy music that people put on top of that. The like really like lovey
Careless
music.
Whispers.
Yeah, Careless Whispers. That's what it was.
George
Yeah.
Michael.
Oh, so good.
That was such a brilliant moment.
Hello, Lux.
You. I love that. It's loaded.
Hello, love.
Jeff has his answer. His favorite moment from Metarunner is Tari putting her hoodie back on.
Yeah.
So good.
If I had to, okay, I'll do short. I'll just do one. I love the original trio when they're back together, in the flashback, and they're all sitting there, and you actually see a less hardened Masa who's actually more easygoing. I really loved that Jeff wrote that scene in there because it just shows character growth, and how different they are, and even when they're in the back of the van, he's like, you see him clenching his fist, like, no, his blood, her blood is on his hands. Like you see how it's just wrecked him. Like season 2 has been a roller coaster for Masa, but you see where all that bitterness comes from, and it's because he was robbed of his former self.
Yeah, it's so good. Really good writing.
I don't have a favorite. Oh, sorry, didn't interrupt.
Oh, no, you go.
Okay.
You go.
I don't think I have a favorite moment. I think, in general, just the visuals. Oh my god, the team went so above and beyond.
Yeah.
I actually do have a favorite Sofia moment.
Oh yay! Let me hear it.
Told you, Zablin.
By the way, when we did that line, there was a moment where I wanted to emulate. I don't know if you guys watch South Park, but I love Cousins Kyle, but he always says, "I'm big," and there was one take where I did. We're dick, but they're like, it doesn't really sound like Sophia, and I'm like, oh.
I think my favorite moment from you and the line delivery was when you were pretending to be like the tannoy, like the stadium speaker, and then you just have, all right, move it,
I said it
move it, people.
I love going
I
over.
the building immediately. I said, go,
go. Ooh. Yeah,
I love that. I thought that was brilliant. I love my head off.
I love going hammy, which that's how when I did theater, that I love doing those characters was just the
so good.
Thank you so much. I want to see more hammy Evelyn in the mean way too.
I fun as well because she's such a ham, and it was so much fun.
It's funny you guys mentioned the ham lines. I really wanted to ham up the sorry misclick, but I wanted it to sound like Masa still, so it's like him trying. Oh, sorry, like him trying to put on a voice.
That was so funny.
But I wish I'd just gone with what like Anthony did. He's like, my bad. Like I wish I could have just
only game.
I wish I could have just done an impression like of other characters. That would have been so much more fun. But like I went, I should keep it sounding like Masa, so it like sorry, misclick. But like it looks like he had so much fun. I was so jealous that he got to do, it's all a game. Why you have to be mad?
That made me laugh my head off. I love that.
What about you, Jason? Do you have a moment?
I think really anytime just Evelyn does anything because she's such an awful character and she's so like, you sort of just walking and suddenly you turn a corner and there she is, and like she's just, and I loved that, and I would constantly like message Elsie and just be like, oh my god, this fucking Evelyn character, I love her. Pardon me, I just didn't mean to do that. I swear a lot.
Oh my goodness! How dare you?
Well, I don't know what this is rated, so I don't want to.
We don't care.
It's rated A for every. Wait, no, awesome.
Everyone.
Everyone. A for everyone.
Everyone. A for everybody.
I can count a potato.
That's important.
AJ, what's your favorite moment?
You're killing Elsie.
This one's tough. It is. It's hard not to love everything that happened. There's a part in episode 8 where Lux, for kind of the first time, he like pours out his not. I want to say pours his heart out, but like, and he's in the van with the two, and he's saying how like everything he did was not just for the company, it was also for the two of them. And I think there he started to feel like, wow, Lux isn't the worst person in the world. I mean, he still is, but at least like he was looking out for his meta runners. And that's just an example of all like the different kind of character development that they set up and everything.
That's how I feel about Belle. I love going from like not liking her in the first couple episodes of season 1 to being like, please let her win.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Oh my god.
Mikey and Sarah, your favorite moments.
Oh boy. You go first.
So I'd probably say the more serious moments that I like was at the end of episode 2 when Lamar's trying to recruit Masa back. Was really heartfelt. I really liked that moment. As for a funny moment, I really liked the scientist playing Pocket Gakusei and his save file gets deleted.
Rest in peace, the waifu.
That was me.
The waifu.
Senpai line.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That was you? Oh my
Yeah,
god.
that's me. Yeah, the senpai. I love it.
Senpai, I'm
Jeff were
done.
laughing.
Someone should
so
superimpose
funny.
that scene like at the end, like with the like that, and then like the scientist.
just green
Well,
screen that, and then yeah.
I knew you were going to say that as your favorite part, Mike.
What was that one?
For me, it's definitely hard. Oh, sorry, Brendan, you go.
Oh no, you go, and then I'll.
Oh, okay.
I'll go after.
Yeah, I think it is hard to choose, but for me, it's definitely that moment where Theo and Tari, like this is kind of, I guess, a spoiler as well, when Theo and Tari finally hug again. Like that moment was just so magical. And I know I spoke to Robin, and they were like, "Yeah, we didn't even do that together, but it just feels like they were just both there doing it together." It's such an amazing moment. I just love that part. Loved
Theo's head is so freaking big, though.
It's huge. Like,
can the
looks pretty
glitch editors
big.
just make it get bigger and bigger through the whole series? Like,
Yeah.
we'll just like
it's gonna
like,
fill
make
the
it
whole
get bigger.
screen eventually.
Guys, totally. This is big brain moment.
Before I forget, I really want to actually give a shout out to the animators because
yes, absolutely,
definitely.
I think it's so like what we do is important, but they just amp it up, especially that last episode. I sat there the other night at the Christmas party, and I just spoke with some of the people that are responsible behind the scenes that don't get the recognition as often. Because as actors, it's very easy to step forward and be like, yes, we're used to it. But the animators, he's like Matt, one of the animators, sat there and said, "Look at this detail, and I'm like, holy heck, there was so much in those scenes. Like the scene with you guys know, I'm not going to say more. If you look at his hand, watch his hand struggling, and watch the little his hand shake, and wow, it's all of them, just all these small details that makes it rewatchable, and it like the emotion is put through in the animation for the lines that aren't said. So Derek Lux, when he's saying everything I did in that, and there are scenes where he doesn't talk but he can hear them. You look at his eyes and his mouth, and like when they're bashing him, he, like you can see that there is shame, there is guilt, but he doesn't really know how to rectify it. Like he's bad, but he has remorse to a degree, and that's all told through the animators. That's not dialogue. That's done through animators, and they deserve so much credit for that.
My God, yeah.
It's so intricate.
Sure.
Well, we are nothing without the animators. So us actors, it's mutual one without the So
I'm just now noticing the chat from the animators and Jeff, and I'm laughing my butt off here. The animators are just like they keep saying Jeff, and they're like, they just keep bullying you there, Jeff. And he posts a gif like, the Lord is testing me. But Gerard said the best part of the entire show was the glitch moth fight.
Oh yeah, Glitchimus. Glitchimus. I did not expect
that.
that.
The hell out. I wasn't expecting it to look like that because I knew that like Glitchimus was on the script, and I thought it was going to be like a big robot. And it's like this disgusting mix of like palm trees, and there's like an arm coming out. I was like, Jesus Christ, it's like Resident Evil or something. It was so cool. Really well animated, the whole fight, especially in the last episode.
I still like the
as well.
giant elder tomato in the background if you look carefully, like you see it in the horizon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even Jeff's just like that giant elder tomato in the background. And at some moments you will see darktheo.exe in the background, just like, demonic crawling. I'm like, ah!
Just quickly, guys. Just quickly, Jason had to go. He said his sound kept cutting out. But he wanted to thank everyone for being there, and he adores everyone. So yeah, he's such a badass. My God. Voice acting? No, he's just a badass in general.
Yeah, and then he's such a sweetheart in real life.
I want to meet up with him once we can go out and be in public.
I want to meet you as well. I've met Jason before. I want to meet you one day.
Oh, yeah, you gotta come to LA. I'm not in LA right now, but you gotta come to LA.
And it's safe too. I'll come back again.
Guys, MetaRunnerCon. Let's make it happen.
Yeah. we had AquaCon back in May. So hopefully we'll do it again.
After everything,
It's fine. If you're gonna keep going, I'll probably come out now. But if you So I'm gonna go to bed. So I love you all. It was so amazing to catch up with you all.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for letting me come on. It was so amazing to talk to you all for a little bit. And I'll definitely be around if you guys ever want to chat again. Thank you, Robin, and Brendan and Brad for having me and everybody. And I'll talk to you all soon. And for everyone who watched it, thank you so much. And thank you, Sarah, everyone, and AJ, and just everyone's so amazing. You're all great.
Go lie down. Go lie down, Elsie.
Please go get some sleep.
Love you. Bye, guys. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night. Okay, bye, guys.
What's this?
Well, now that Elsie's not here.
Oh wow! Check out this from Ben Sill. MetaRunner was actually the reason I decided to become an animator in the first place. It's the also the reason why I'd like to move to Sydney. The fact that they have cool new metro.
You know what? My mom has always wanted to go to Australia, so in the future.
Yeah, man.
Never been in the Southern Hemisphere, so.
Oh, you got to come at
we
least
should
once.
all have a party in Sydney. I think that's something that we all need to do.
I gotta ask, how weird is it, like, here in the Northern Hemisphere, with Christmas, it's like snow, but like down, it's summer where you guys are. So
it's beaches,
very hot.
It's gotta be
a warm, sunny Christmas.
Our Christmases are like swimming pools and beaches, honestly. Yeah.
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 And shorts, lots of shorts.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of like fans and ACs, and yeah, it gets pretty hot. And like, how Christmas time we have like seafood platters instead of like whatever other people have. I don't actually know.
So it's all it's like shrimp and just different
crab,
oysters,
lobster, oysters.
And for some reason they like pavlovas and meringues for their Christmas desserts, and I'm like, ah.
Pavlova, yeah.
I don't like pavlova.
I've never had that.
My grandma makes a Christmas dinner. And she'd be like, "Oh, Celeste!"
Ooh,
Celeste, have you met AJ
microphone's not working at all.
No, we can hear you.
Celeste, have you met AJ before?
Hey, AJ. No, I have not. Hello.
Hi, Celeste.
Good to meet you.
You too.
Tari,
so-
AJ, Tari.
Hi. I'm
My
very
lady.
keen. I'm very keen to do like some acoustic versions of the songs, AJ.
Yes.
So I'm very, very keen.
Yeah.
So down for that.
We will chat more. We will chat more.
They're
about
gonna
that.
scheme, guys. They're gonna scheme.
Yeah.
Celeste,
I've got plans.
I love how your normal speaking voice is pretty much Tari, so it's like, oh my god, it's Tari 24/7.
It's not like
It's different, I think.
Yeah, I've got a deep voice when I speak normally, and then when I do
Gotcha.
Tari, it's much more up there.
That's true.
But-
That's true.
But
It's
in
airy,
season two, it's definitely got like a more perky version of my voice. Of Tari, I mean. So it's more like, oh, hi, everyone. So he's a bit more like me. Yeah.
That's true. That's the same for Sophia. It's kind of same, but it's definitely more upbeat. So
Yeah, much more perky.
Yeah.
So yeah, season 1 was like depressed Tari. Season 2 was like perky.
It's the total opposite of Sophia. It's like season 1 was all hyper, and then season 2 she's more depressed.
Yeah.
I find the quality with Sophia's voices. She's very sing-songy.
Yeah.
How do you? When you're thinking of the character, what do you base it on? Like for you, like did you know someone who was like that, or she's like, "Good morning, everyone"? You know, like
that's just me.
Yeah,
that's just me.
Me going all over the. Sometimes I'll just go, "Oh no!" So
I think maybe Brendan, it's just musical theatre people. Hello.
True.
Yeah.
It's just what we do.
I don't know why I'm not more sing-songy then. I should. Yeah. I don't know.
I love how Sophia's like name is Yellow Canary, like her kind of not really code name thing. So it's like, oh my god, they're shaping the character around us, you know. So it's great.
I'm just Masa 6.
I thought it would be Masa 5, like MD5, but not.
No, I think that's pretty funny that it's just Masa. He's not.
I highlight 2 comments. Like this is Raphael. He's one of the animators for Meta Runner. And Gerard's message to Raphael. Get back to work.
Get back to work.
You make you eat.
You tell him, Raphael.
Definitely the glitch production vibe I'm getting here. He sat on his office chair and it accidentally broke. And now I have a thing with Raphael, like, all right, guys, just don't upset Raphael. He'll break your chairs. And he's like, no, I don't break chairs.
You guys should see their offices. It's a nerd.
It's really
hub.
nice.
I love it
so
much.
It's so nerdy. It's like
sounds like Kevin.
It's beautiful. It is like a utopia for nerds. I love that they foster it. Like different types of nerdy stuff too. There are Simpsons quotes everywhere. The place is littered with Simpsons quotes.
I love
like
the cutouts.
The cutouts.
And, like,
There's like the Rock cutout that they've got. Yeah.
The Rock, Danny DeVito, John Wick. Like, it's so good.
You know, speaking of, I don't mean to stalk, but I don't know, like, I guess some article mentioned, like, where your offices are, and you guys are close to the Opera House, which is, I don't know if that's right, but it's like, oh my gosh!
Well, Sydney, you're kind of close to everywhere, so, yeah.
It's not really as exciting for us.
It's not like New York. So, fun story, when I was in the US, fun story, in the US, when I was there for the first time, I was in New York, and I'm like, why do people in Seinfeld always catch taxis everywhere? I'm just going to walk to wherever I need to go.
Exactly. That's
and
what
then I went,
is.
And then, but when I went to New York, I'm like, where am I? Holy heck, I'm not even like a quarter of the way there. Like, what is this? In Sydney, I could just walk to one end, like in an hour or something.
In like an hour, you'd cross the whole thing, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
It was unreal.
Out in the Midwest and especially in California, that's such a foreign concept. Like you don't measure things in miles, you measure things in hours to drive. You know, so it's like, oh, it'll take 2 hours. How many miles it is? I don't know, 5 miles. So, yeah.
My favorite part of Sydney is that a regular part of public transport is actually just a ferry on the water, right next to the Opera House. So it's just like a
not
normal...
even kidding.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I want to go to Sydney so badly. Oh my god!
And like for me to get to the city, it's just I literally drive over the Harbour Bridge, and it's like that's just an everyday thing to get to the city. You just drive over the Harbour Bridge.
It's like usually when I get off of work on Sundays, I'll just go to the ferry. Be like, do I want to go to Circular Quay or Barangaroo?
I would be.
Yeah, we're getting weird. We're getting weird architecture all throughout Sydney. We're just like you're in Barangaroo and it looks all shiny and futuristic and very modernly posh. And then you step right next door to Wynyard and it's all brick buildings and ancient. And it's just like
it's awesome.
Did I time travel? Where am I?
I love that.
There's a show, I think it was called, it was a competition, Airbnb competition in Australia that I remember binging, and they were kind of comparing the different locations in the area, and I think they went, I hope I get the name right, Humpty Doo, I think is a place, it's further up north, near something like
Humpty
that.
Doo.
Or something like I can't remember. It's a little town, but it reminded me of Florida so much because they have like a lot of gators.
You know what? Do you know what's funny, Haley? What you don't realize is
Can we
half
Google
the towns
Humpty
in
Doo?
someone do it. Half the towns in Australia sound like they're made up.
Exactly.
Very true.
Let's say a few, shall we? Dubbo.
I'm gonna go for
Mudgee.
Mudgee's great.
Mudgee.
Apparently, it does exist.
There you go. Humpty Doo is a
Humpty
place.
Doo is a small town in Australia's Northern Territory, situated just south of Arnhem Highway.
There you go. I'm
Wagga
thrilled
Wagga.
it's real.
It reminded me
I'm
of Florida.
absolutely
It was so cool. It was like, oh, they have like gator culture. They have like,
Oh
it was
yeah,
cool.
that's Northern
It actually
Territory.
totally looks like Florida from the picture.
Since we got Celeste back, like she missed out on some of the meta runner questions.
I did.
Why don't
And
we
I
hit
missed
it with
Jason, by the way. I was sad. I haven't met him. So.
Dude, the guy has a voice of velvet. So meta runner. What did you have a favorite moment, Celeste? Like from season 2? Doesn't have to be your character. It can be other characters.
I know what I really liked. I really liked when Lucinia and Tari were talking. I thought that was
nice.
really beautiful, and I thought that she was gorgeous. Like such delicate voice as Lucinia.
Amber.
Oh my goodness.
Amber's always great. Yeah.
And just a deep sadness.
One
in her
day
voice.
we'll get Amber on here.
Yeah, but like the sadness in her voice and was just wonderful. I thought that interaction was a really, really beautiful moment in the show. Yeah, I really liked that. I think and I loved, oh my god, the end credits of the dating sim. And the end credits, and that showed all the dates that Tari went on with the character.
Yeah,
I thought that
having a
was,
good time, and I'm stuck in such a
I couldn't
nightmare.
stop laughing. I thought that was so, and the music was different. Like the music was like now like the dating sim one. I thought that was brilliant.
Yeah.
That was so good.
Did you have fun writing that, AJ?
Yes, and they asked me the last minute when they needed it, so I did it very quickly. But it was a very cool idea. Yeah.
It was, and it just broke out of the norm feeling of it. It became something else. It was great. It was really good. Love music for that.
I actually really like that when so yeah, it's very easy to get used to end credits roll and it's going to be the same music. So whenever a series breaks that for just one time,
it cracks me up.
Buffy did it with Once More with Feeling. There was an episode about a musical. So instead of the usual Buffy theme, it was just like a jazzy, upbeat show tune. And I was just like, oh, I love this. Like, it's so good when they do that.
It cracked me up. That was really beautiful. The whole game there was great. But I really liked, I remember when I was recording it, I didn't know exactly how it was going to go, but Jeff was saying he wanted Tari to be much more confident because she'd been at TazCorp for a while now, and she knew how to play the game. She wasn't so nervous about when she went into the games, and I didn't know how that was going to fly. But I really liked, because I thought I wanted to play it sort of darker and sadder. But when I saw it, it made more sense. I just think her in TazCorp, I loved all those scenes. Like she had such sadness there, but also such confidence and strength. So I really liked all of those scenes in TazCorp. They were really cool.
I love David's line. Go. And you're going to raise your accuracy above 98%. So it's like, that's not good enough. 98% is still trashed. Get good.
Yeah. Well, I liked that the soldier was following behind her. You got the sense that she was basically in a jail. And the difference between between the what's her name? I'm British. What's my name? What's the character's name?
Evelyn,
thank you. Between Evelyn's room versus Tari's room.
We're sorry,
Belle's
Elsie.
room. What'd you say?
We're sorry, Elsie.
No, I was going to say Elsie's room, but I can't say Elsie's room. I've got to say the character name. Evelyn's room. Yeah, and just to see the difference between that, like Tari has nothing personal, nothing at all in that space at all, and
no,
it's sterile. Yeah, it's so sterile, and it's such a dark, horrible feeling. I thought,
it's a cell as
that
opposed
really,
to
really well.
a bedroom.
Yes, yeah, and then they close the door, and it says lock straight away, like she can't walk around without anybody. Yeah,
and I think that's a credit to like the designing, and like the writing and the animators.
Yes,
like
beautiful design.
They the intricate small details. Like I tell you, if you were to go watch it now in one binge session, you would spot stuff you'd never notice. You will spot stuff you've never seen before. I can't wait till them do a movie cut. They'll eventually do it after like a while. I assume.
Did anyone else get to do live dubbing of the grunts and groans? Did anyone else get to do that? I don't think any of you had fight scenes. Oh my god, it was so much fun. But, yeah. Well, Sarah, you'll know because you would have had to edit it all for me. But I had to I had to time it all perfectly, and especially it was in Hidden Hero, so that was like the most fun. I had so much fun doing that. I'm gonna actually filmed myself doing them, and I want to make a little supercut. Of me doing all the.
All I cared about was so I didn't do any live fight stuff, but I did, however, talk to Michael, and I was like, I just want it to sound good. So if you need extra Foley from me to do that stuff, I'll do it. And I did, and when you look at that scuff between Lux and Masa, it works, So I love that must have done something right. But really that wasn't done live. Like that was me just doing a bunch of different takes, and then that again then working thanks to Mike's magic and Sarah's work too.
Yeah, that's how it was for herself.
You two are beautiful.
Can I just say one thing? Robin, I hate you. No, I'm joking. But really, your Theo is so hard to do Foley for. Like, I basically end the session of Foley recording Theo just me sweating and just dying, basically. Like, why? Because it's so much work. Like, it's literally a backpack, and I'm shaking it, and I'm trying to do what Theo's doing, and he's just moving all over the bloody place. It's like, and so
you gotta do his feet.
It's so tiring,
Pitter patter.
That's literally just me tapping my arm for him to walk.
Yeah.
Martha did have a question. Okay, hey Tari, would you be mad if I bought an Evelyn plushie if an Evelyn plushie exists solely just to call her bitch Chan?
That's so mean. I mean, Evelyn the character, I will say that's fine but then I associate that now with Elsie, and Elsie's delightful. So
I just imagine that Lux, does Tari hate me?
Lux, you're gonna be really sing-songy, Lux, does Tari hate me?
I don't know why, but I picture Veruca Salt.
I think we need an Evelyn. We need an Evelyn singing.
I love AJ's music there. So I'm assuming you did that one as well. I love it. It's like a carnival quality.
It's circusy, yeah.
So, yeah.
What was the inspiration for that?
They just came to me and they're like, Doki Doki Literature Club. I was like, all right. I followed some class. It's a little twist on Only Up because it's got da 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 da. So it's got that same melody.
That was good.
I was looking at Elvin as kind of an anti-Tari. She has the same.
Yeah, she really is.
That moment where Lamar, Sofia, and Tari are together, and they seem like they're out of ideas, and Tari's looking at her hands, and you hear the melody from season 1. You're just like,
ah! Is that the bit where we're running and we Theo and I are running. We're running, and there's a glitch that happens, and we suddenly look like old Theo and old Tari from season 1. Did you guys see that? Freaking love that! Oh my gosh! They were like, huh?
I like how they look at each other and just shrug.
Okay. Well, that was great. I got a couple of those little nods throughout this season, little tiny jokes. I mean, they were in season 1 too, but just
and the creepy Theos in the background as well. Did you notice that?
I did see that. Yeah,
the zombie Theo in the split screen second.
Yeah,
you see a zombie Theo. Nightmare fuel.
Nightmare Theo. But
there
like,
was
yeah, they had
also-
the guy with the his girlfriend. He's in the dating sim, and the dating sim fails, and then and then the two robots at the beginning when they're having the fight when we're trying to find Marshall.
I'm
What
gonna
do
stick
they
this
say?
in your input. Yeah.
I'm gonna stick this out right in your input, and I'm like,
I love
this is stuff. I love this stuff.
That was
with the
Kevin
boys.
and Luke right there.
Yeah.
I think the bot boys are so cute. I'm like, I want one.
Now, I had a question that I don't need to. I had a
Got
question for
team
you guys
killing a
because
dingus.
I feel like, well, we need Anthony for this, I know, because we all kind of do extra roles, and we all have extra lines. So, what is everyone's small roles that they play, and what are those? Because I don't think they credit them saying specifically what they are. So Anthony has lots because Anthony's got this insane voice that can do a million things. So, did anyone have any extra lines that they had as a different character? I know Haley.
Brendan had
Haley definitely had them.
I would, in a heartbeat, if they ever said, "Hey, we need random lines," I'd be like, "Yes." But I knew they were busy and they had their own thing, so I just said, "If you ever need Foley, like male Foley, just let me know, Michael, Sarah. I'll do it. I don't care about. I don't need to be paid. I just love Meta Runner, so I'll do it." So what did I end up getting to be? I got to be King Crab. Big, crab that comes up, and so I just made a bunch of like growly, gruff stuff. I did also so when the coconut spins out and it turns into a crab, I'm that.
Yeah.
That little, I did the pigeon, the swoopy things.
That's a bird enemy. Yeah. The yellow.
When they die, and I had fun doing that. I absolutely love doing that stuff. Thank you for letting me actually be able to help with that, Sarah and Michael. Like, I actually now really want to do creature stuff as well.
Me too. Me too. Oh,
I did get one line, and I don't think any of you would know what it is. See if you can work out which one it was. So it's one of the extra characters. And
I think I may have already said it.
Sarah will know. Oh, have you already said it?
I think I already said
Jeremy's mom.
It's the one that goes, "Hey, Jeremy, come down. Dinner's ready." Is that character? That's me.
Yeah.
I literally
Jeremy was chef.
I messaged Celeste on Facebook like, this was just amazing. Like, how did you do this? Like, is this really you?
Oh my god, I
Like,
can't even remember the accent anymore. But yeah, it was like that kind of character.
Jeremy,
Boston.
Jeremy,
put down your goils.
put down your goils and come down, Jeremy.
You're not gonna get your Hanukkah presents if you don't.
She was a.
Jeremy,
Why don't you
stop
call
being a
Grandma
butt.
more?
That was my
Best
Think of all. Why don't you call your mother more?
Why does she
Call your
You gotta
mother.
get me some grandkids.
That was a lot of fun, that one.
Oh,
But yeah, Anthony has heaps of them. Anthony gets to play like all these little.
And David was the voice of the elder tomato,
Of course.
and those little palm tree things.
Oh, actually, in season 1, I had another one. I was at the very first episode. I was the girl who was trying to get something out of the vending machine, and it went, "Oh, damn it! Thank you so much." That was me. So, so I had another little role there.
I had another uncredited line where it goes, "I can't believe I get to meet a real meta runner." Ah, that was me. Yeah,
That was you.
episode 1.
That was me.
I know I'm not a.
Was it? Oh, okay.
I know I'm not a voice actor, guys, but I have actually had lines in Meta Runner as well.
Have you, Sarah? Oh
You
my
had
God,
the
yes.
best. You had the best line.
I had
let's
the
go on.
final lines of season 1. So when Lucinia's in the pod, the AI, that was me.
That was
What do I say, Mike?
It
Unchanged.
sounds great.
Unchanged.
Yeah, you're just talking about like this.
Oh, that's
Status.
pretty
Stable
cool.
condition.
Yeah.
Status.
Stable
Unchanged.
condition. Yeah, that's me. Yeah. And then I also have a line in season 2 when Lux is looking around and all the news people are like talking. One of them is me as well.
Oh,
And also I think Robin and also Brendan is there. I think Jeff has got something.
A lot of the glitch crew. There's a lot of the
Glitch Crew. They like sent us all. It was so funny to listen to. It was amazing.
Oh, thank you, Swaldo. Thank
Although
you.
that was voicing Jeremy's mom. Favorite off and off character. Jeremy!
I was just thrilled that I got to do that one. And I gave other options. I'm like, no, please pick this one.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get to do more incidental voices. Because even if they don't make it in, it's still fun to do. So.
Oh, I would love to do more of them. And I've got like 1,000 characters I just want to try out.
Oh, me too. Me too.
You know how so Anthony and Brendan were doing the scene where they're pretending to be like, oh, sorry, I just missed, and they're shooting. Yeah. Those ones. I offered an option of one of the characters, the other people being like a kid, like, hey, what are you doing? Because like, kids are always the ones that are the e-sporters these days. So they didn't go with it. They went with adult voices. But it would have been funny.
Luke.
I had a similar story where I did one of those little one-off lines. It was like one of the people involved, and it was I wanted to do sort of like a "Hey, what's going on there?" kind of thing, and I was like, try it.
It's just a chance for us to try out all our accents.
I was saying before, Celeste, one of the hardest things, like so when I did the sorry misclick, my take of it was to sound as much like Masa, but try to make it different as possible. But I regret
because Masa
it
wouldn't like go. He wouldn't go extreme on that. He'd just be like.
But I'm so jealous because as a voice actor, you can tell how much fun Anthony had.
Yeah, my bad. No, but your character wouldn't do that, so you can't do that stuff. You have to be like,
sorry, Brendan.
I really wanted to do it though.
Sorry, Brendan.
Oh man,
I don't know what I would have done for voices, but like, hey, sorry, misclick. Like that would have been fun to do, you know.
Nah, it's just so not Masa. Oh dear. But that scene with Anthony was so funny. I thought he must have such a ball doing all his voices.
Absolutely.
I don't know who did it, but you know the guy that's like, sign my chest.
Oh God, that was good.
That was so good.
Sign my chest.
I think it's one of the animators, maybe, or
probably. I think that Jeff, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that was Paul. One of the editors. It sounded like him.
That was so funny. Oh my God. We cracked up. Jeez.
I gotta say, if they ever do like Bot Girls, I really want to.
Oh my God. Can we do Bot Girls?
Yeah, we do. We should all do
the boys are so funny.
Do you know what would be really cool to do if they ever do it? They could do like a marionette sort of robot like play, and we play our robots.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine that? Like, and then like
everyone is a bot boy.
It's too late, Lux. You are going to pay for your crimes. Like I'm doing like a master robot, you know. Like, haha, well played, but you'll never bam. Ah!
David's wife is watching us. This is Carla.
Hi, Carla.
Hi, Carla.
A little funny story.
Oh, go on.
We invited Carla and David to our Thanksgiving dinner, and they buzzed up our room. And I was like, "Hello," and Thea's was like, "Hey, who's this?" And Dave's like, "It's Derek." Derek. What kind of a stupid name is that? What kind of a mama name is that? I just hear his wife just screaming in the background.
I forgot that we were revealing that his name's Derek. Isn't that crazy?
Derek with a K.
I know.
I remember Jeff in the office was like, because Deluxe.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. It's like, I see what you did there.
It's bad.
Actually, that was such a good scene, though, with the flashback with Lucinia and Belle and...
that was great.
Masa me.
Lucinia, Belle. Oh, Masa, of course, yeah. Masa came in later. That was amazing. I love that scene. That's like one of my favorite scenes.
I am sad that the shippers have moved now to Masa and Belle and away from Tari and Belle or Tari and Masa. I feel
Tari
like
Belle, that's in my heart right here.
Like, it's in my heart. Yeah, and it's real. It's a real deep love, but in reality. But yes, so I'm a little sad that the shippers have moved on. But
you got a sister.
I feel so awkward I feel super awkward when people talk about ships because like they're having fun, you know. So I don't ever want to like. What do you think about this ship? Like, I don't want to comment, man. You know, like you're enjoying your thing, and you know, yeah. It's
Well, see,
it's
now we know
right?
we can't ship like Sofia and Tari. That's just weird.
That would be weird. That would be
We trying to spoil too much because Brad hasn't seen it.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Well, I've seen
all
just
of it.
about every ship with Masa. I'm just going to put that out there. It's
Well, I was going to say, like, the funniest part about all of it is, like, the thing that no one wants ever is, like, shipping Theo with Masa. But you guys are married in real life.
That's against the law.
Oh, no.
Do it.
Police.
No one wants to see that. No one wants to see
In the words of Meggie from SMG4, that's illegal.
Yeah.
It is illegal. It's against the law.
Can we just not ship Theo with anyone, please?
That'd be so cool if Lizzie.
Where's our
I don't even care if Theo never grows up, so you can never do it. It doesn't matter. Like you can't make it an adult version. He's always
not
young.
allowed,
Leave him alone.
It's not allowed.
Illegal.
Only valid ship is Lux and tinted windows.
Yep.
What about the whole first thing? Tinted windows, get in.
Or a bulletproof helmet.
Personally, I can see like. Oh no!
I'm telling you, meta eyes. It's the next evolution.
Hey guys,
and we're gonna have them back.
Guys, shots fired.
I wanted to say Mike did such a good job with that gun sound. Like he made it so intense. Like you feel it. Like I've seen people react to it.
So
Revolver.
regular, it's two revolvers that are laid on top of each other with one reversed and then a reverb over the top. That way, it sounds like it's like lasting longer.
It's so it was so impactful. It was perfect.
Yeah.
You can see
and
like
I like
the people
the white noise as well.
It goes off.
And the white noise as well. I love the anime cut shot as well. Bum, 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 the reactions.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Matt's animation for Master in that scene, like you watch his hands and when he sees the blood, it's like, like you see his thumb like just wig out. It's like that was enough to make me like almost cry. Like I was just like, oh my god, he is like shell shocked to the max there. Like,
Masa, what did you do? Even though I hate him, what did you do?
Okay, so she's asking me, hey Trix, how did you feel when you record the lines for the last episode? Me as an actor or me in the role? Because me as an actor, I felt bad because I knew it would be David send off, I screwed up. If you don't figure it out by now, guys, you've had like 3 hours to watch it. I don't care.
It's like a 15-minute episode. Just do it. Press pause now. Go watch it, then come back.
What about Brad? Brad's still here.
Just go like this.
I can't see him. Oh, there he is.
He's back.
Hey!
I was hiding.
Yeah,
I saw him in the cameras down below eating cheesy poofs.
Yeah, I didn't want to do that on.
You didn't want cheesy poof ASMR.
Yeah.
I want cheesy food.
But
I'll be right back.
Yeah, sure. I knew it was David's send off, so the lines had to hit. I remember recording the surprise as well. We did a few different takes for that. And I gradually tried, so I ramped it up more and more as we went through the lines. I think, you wouldn't have heard that. I think they sent you one take of that, didn't they? The one they liked. Sarah, was that right?
Sorry? What? I zoned out.
They only sent you guys one take.
Amazing.
They only sent you one take.
See you guys.
They only sent you one take of me with the what when he's freaking out.
Yeah, so usually what happens is they will send us the final takes because
the one they like.
Animators, because the animators have to animate to those takes. You know what I mean? So by the time we get it, because we're basically the last people to work on anything.
So we did a few different versions of that line though, like his freak out, like how But I gradually usually just go higher and higher with it with the energy. That's the aim, to make it bigger and bigger. So because here's the thing, as an actor, it's always easier to start lower than go higher than to start higher then go low. It's really difficult to pull back.
Oh, really?
Okay.
It's always the way. All the ways we were taught was to go 1, 2, 3 on the levels of delivery.
So you
then
ramp up the
choose.
emotion.
Yeah, that's how Sofia was. Originally, it was like, Masa, what did you do? It was really like low, and then we just wound up going. It's more hysterical because it's better with the. Okay, we gotta go. So
That energy carries really well in that scene. Like so they nailed it with the takes for everyone. So I felt sad because I knew it was David's line. Like I had to make sure that people realized this was not his will. So the frantic fear had to carry through. Like I think they might have changed like the pacing between. So like obviously
they did.
Like between like no, no, like, but I tried a few different like struggling, sounds and to see, but I think they found what worked for them. But I even tried a bit more dramatic on some of them, and but it worked good. They did a great job, and they found what worked. And everything is just so perfect. That scene is a perfect scene. I don't care, if anyone says anything different, I think it hits its mark, and it's savage.
I was worried when I was reading it. It was like I was going, "Oh, look, there's monologue," but it really worked. Like it didn't feel like this is an excuse to put a monologue in and a summary in it.
Two things. I think it's writing,
but it works really well.
The writing and the actors
it's a combination
carry
of the
it.
two. Yeah.
So good writing with good direction goes a long way, and so it doesn't feel like you're monologuing. Then
no,
it feels like you're talking as the characters, and you really feel like what the characters are actually going through. And that's a credit to Jeff and his directing too. I think. Anyway, that's my.
Robin, you're muted.
David is being sneaky at his job and sending a comment. Did anyone have a favorite line in general this season? Mine was Sofia's speech about Belle, heartfelt and funny.
That was nice.
What was that speech? I can't remember.
When she went to bat for Belle, when I oh, you were like, come on, Masa, let her join us. Like, no.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, what?
Sure, she's impulsive and a bit catty sometimes, but it was.
I did love the part with Lamar saying she's the Lux's right-handed dragon lady, and Belle's just like,
it's a pretty
cool title, actually.
I love that little, I can't afford to be burnt again line from Masa, like that was a great line that Jeff put in there too.
I still love Belle's just trying her hardest to say, Belle's changed. She's not like that anymore. Belle just cuts in like, oi!
Yeah.
Arrogant, you jerk. Yeah.
I really appreciated the Aussiness in that. That was a great moment. Oi!
I honestly love I think my favorite moment, I have two favorite moments. I think my favorite moments, but I loved, I know you and Celeste, you and Kitsuna are, different languages, but I just love when you were interacting with Kitsuna. It was like, oh, this is so cute.
Loved it. Absolutely loved that scene. I agree.
And then the scene when Sofia and Tori hug, I'm like,
I know. I know. I was pretty touched by that. I had to admit, we were back together again.
The music was perfect. It was like, and I'm like, oh.
It was gorgeous. That was a very touching moment. I really liked that moment. And but yeah, the scenes, everything in that. It was very weird when we were recording that because I was going, oh gee, this is a long time in this dating sim. But and I didn't know what the hell was going on. And trying to say Satsuki-chan and Kitsuna-chan and Ai-chan and all these. I had all these different names I had to say, and I kept saying it with the wrong intonation because I'm Australian. I and they had to keep correcting me. But like, just that interaction was just beautiful with the two languages working together. It was just gorgeous. I love those scenes. They're great.
I have to admit, I got very excited about editing Japanese dialogue.
Yeah.
The group, and I was like, guys, I get to do this. This is so cool. Like, they're like, yeah okay. And I'm like, no, it's cool.
Hard is it? It's got to be really difficult.
I mean, it's not that hard. I mean, the whole process of syncing dialogue is all about just understanding, how the lips are moving and how sound would come out of those. So it's really the same thing. It doesn't matter what language it is. So yeah, but it was fun. It was awesome. It was so cool.
That would be cool. That would be very cool.
Yeah.
Ben Sills asking, what's an average work day at Glitch like? It seems like an impossible dream of mine
That's
to
more
work
for
there.
you, Rob.
There's more for me? Where?
No, that's more for you, that question.
Okay.
Yeah,
because I work there.
Yeah.
Meetings. It's just basically, we all have meetings to just work with Kevin and Luke over what's the next thing to do. Everyone uses this app called Asana to, make sure we don't forget anything. Like, what's my job for today? And when you're done with it, you click it off. So it's very organized. There's a lot that needs to be done, but at least we're well organized to the point where we have like a checklist to just jot down, okay, I've done that. If there's something that they'll assign me to, I'll ask them, like, okay, what do I need to do for this? And we're all on our own little chat room, just having to communicate with Kevin and Luke constantly. Okay, this is what I've done so far. It's midday. Here's what I finished, et cetera, and just making sure everyone has a QA to make sure we check over each other's work so that one person will approve it. We send it off to Kevin and Luke, and then they will put in their notes. We clean it up, and we're done.
Nice.
But also a lot of memes. The memes are everywhere. Everywhere.
Oh my God.
Up and down the walls, memes.
The place is a meme hub. It is really is.
I gotta say, I know this was a thing that happened like back when we were doing the Equicon, but your two little girls that were like, and Daddy, thinking that Anthony was I'm like, I've watched that so many times. It is the cutest thing. I'm like,
oh my gosh. Haley, if you scroll back in this to like, I don't know, the 1 hour or 2 hour mark, my girls were there in the shop. So I showed them. They're very cute.
Oh my gosh.
That was so funny. Any man with a beard.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
At Sarah, when you were doing the dating sim scenes, did you have a translator on set, or did you get lots of Japanese books to make sure it would translate correctly?
All right. So other than watching way too much anime, I don't speak or understand Japanese. But like I said, I did. Yeah. I did actually. I remember messaging the boys like, hey, usually like a Japanese voice actor would say this way, not realizing who the actual voice actor was like Ai-chan.
Oh man.
and they were just like, this is like, I'm sure it's fine because this is like a legit like, Japanese person. I'm like, don't worry then, ignore me, like I'm just an idiot, don't worry about it. But yeah, it's not it wasn't required for my job to sync. I just had to sync it, so understanding what it meant, not important.
Sync
at all.
and trust that they said the right thing. Basically.
Exactly, yeah. And I'm sure they did because the boys already, hopefully checked it.
I want to ask the three of you guys, so Sarah, Shalane, and AJ, I think what you're most proud of, like in the season that you guys worked on, something that was really hard to surmount that you like achieved, like, because obviously our goals are different for what we need to achieve as it all becomes merged together. But you see it before we do, so you also know what you're struggling with, what's the challenges. So I think we'll start with AJ and then go to Shalane and then Sarah. But I'm actually genuinely curious, what was your devil episode that you were like, I need to this is my Goliath and I have to slay it,
Oh boy.
Because I know you guys have them. That's the thing. I can feel it. Like there's something that you obviously have been working on, and yeah.
It's hard to say. I'm not sure.
Do you need a moment? I can go to Shalane. While you?
Yeah, I'll go left. I'll go left.
That's all
okay.
right.
I think mine was easily episode 3, like having to synthesize cards,
which you killed.
Thanks. But also, overall, I had to be the mixer of this season. I wasn't the mixer of season 1. So when I was told, "Oh, we need you guys to mix it as well," I was like, "Okay, I'll figure it out." So yeah, that was kind of new to me that I had to mix.
Well, I just want to say bravo. I think you did a great job. Honestly, I actually, in this season 2, everything is just up. You know what I mean? Everything is just improved. And I think that's a testament to everyone involved. Season 1 was good, but then season 2 is like you see it peaks.
Mm-hmm.
It totally peaks.
Yeah.
Sarah, what about you?
Yeah, that was definitely the hardest thing for us, the whole mixing thing, because we just really wanted to get it right, because we had a lot of frustrations with season 1 where you couldn't hear a lot of the things that we put so much time and effort into putting in, like Foley and certain sound effects. They just weren't existent. And I know AJ would get a little bit frustrated sometimes, with his music. He would ask for certain things to be turned up because, again, it just wasn't the way he wanted it. But I feel like this season we really got to sort of just do our own thing, and we just tried so hard to make sure that every element was heard well and sort of meshed well with each other. And me and Mike would go and watch sort of what he's mixed, and I would sort of put my input into it and say, I think these could do this, and he would agree, and we would get that done. And it's a huge process because, after 3 weeks of working on the episode and getting it done, then you spend another 2 days or more, even 3 days just mixing it, and it's just a huge effort, but it was so worth it, and for me, I think the proudest thing I would have to say is that, going into this saying to us, "Oh, you guys are the whole sound team," basically, other than AJ doing music, you guys are just all the sound that we're hearing on this show, good luck. And we just would can we do this? Can we actually get this done? And I'm so proud of both of us for actually being able to accomplish that. It's just fantastic, and yeah, I'm just really, really proud of that. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I gotta go, guys, but it was so much fun having you guys.
Hi, Haley.
Yeah,
Hi, Haley.
you guys are amazing.
Chilling with us.
Thank you for having me.
Love you, Sophia.
Bye.
All right, and join us next week.
Thank you all so much for watching. More awesome videos will be on the way, so stay tuned. Bye-bye.
Bye.